Turn up, come on.
Kingdom, kingdom,
Turn up, come on.
The kingdom's coming, so I'm coming with the raw. Jesus Christ, the truth, the way, the light, in the door. I gotta keep it 100, straight hard to the core. Only way to the Father is through the Son, real talk. If he's knocking at your heart, you better open up the door and be a few of the chosen, or the many that's called. Give your life to Christ, he loves his flaws and all. Some turn up for the devil, but I turn up for the Lord. Yeah, Father in heaven, holy is your name. Today and tomorrow, you'll forever be the same. Your kingdom's coming, and that's what I proclaim. As it is in heaven, so let on earth be the same. May your will be done, Father, in your Son's name. I do it for your glory, I don't do it for the fame. May your kingdom come and heal the blind, sick and lame. In Jesus' name, I'm coming through, spitting with the flame. Yeah.
kingdom. We're here to represent God's kingdom.
Turn up, come on.
Kingdom. We're here to represent God's kingdom.
Turn up, come on.
Kingdom. We're here to represent God's kingdom.
Turn up, come on.
Kingdom. We're here to represent God's kingdom.
Up.
Verse second, and I'm still kingdom reppin'. No weapon form will prosper, I ain't worried about a weapon. God got me, Satan can't stop me. I kick it for the Lord like I'm kicking in karate. Ask mommy, I bet she speak highly about how the Lord saved me and put his spirit in my body. Let's get it poppin', it's the truth that I'm dropping. Put your hands in the air and praise the Lord as I rock this. Glory to God, his spirit is upon me to preach the good news of the gospel of good tidings. This the army of the Lord, so you know we coming fighting with the army of God. Ready to clap with the lions, bringing war with the sword. Slashing all the devils, the righteous. The Holy Ghost
took me with us.
saying the broken guys. The battle's
Back.
already won, we just going through the fight. The kingdom reppin' for God, smashing demons on sight. Yeah.
Kingdom. We're here to represent God's kingdom.
Turn up, come on.
Kingdom. We're here to represent God's kingdom.
Turn up, come on.
Kingdom. We're here to represent God's kingdom.
Turn up, come on.
Kingdom. We're here to represent God's kingdom.
Turn up.
Got GMG, got music group tatted on the jacket. Kingdom reppin' for God, even in our fashion. Shout outs to Jesus Christ, cause he did it for the passion. Same reason I grabbed the mic, it's the purpose that I'm rapping. He met me like Paul on the road to Damascus. Gave me power to preach, teach, and reach the masses. He put love in my heart, now I'm a love addict. Kingdom reppin' for God, and I'm still at it.
Gave me power to preach, teach, and reach the masses. Gave me power to preach, teach, and reach the masses. Gave me power to preach, teach, and reach the masses. Gave me power to preach, teach, and reach the masses. Kingdom, we're here to represent God's kingdom.
Turn up, come on.
Kingdom, we're here to represent God's kingdom.
Turn up, come on.
Kingdom, we're here to represent God's kingdom.
Turn up, come on.
Kingdom, we're here to represent God's kingdom.
Talk it out. Talk it out.
What's on your mind?
Talk it out.
Do you have some time?
Talk it out.
I wanna let you know you can call Grace at the Talk It Out show.
Talk it out.
What's on your mind?
Talk it out.
Do you have some time?
Talk it out.
I wanna let you know you can call Grace at the Talk It Out show.
Talk it out.
You need the latest news and the latest fashion. Tune in to Talk It Out and watch that stallion. The whole city know that we on the horizon. The talk of the city, New York. Talk with me if you need the vent. Or if your rent spent, things don't make no sense. And life getting too tense, put your troubles on hold. If you sip or you roll, whatever I suppose. Turn on the radio. You with the queen whose voice is gold. She thick in the waist, don't let him in the waist. This show's a fine taste with design by Grace. And we won't stop until we heard in 50 states. Talk it out, talk it out, talk it out, talk it out.
What's on your mind? Hey, hey, hey. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another night of Talk It Out Radio with me, your host, Grace the Stallion. I'm excited to be here because it's Tuesday, Talk It Out Tuesday. I think I kind of like own Tuesdays now. I'm very excited. So welcome back again to the show, guys. As usual, we always have a great show for you all. We bring you the best artists out in the world, independent artists of all kinds. We get artists that rap, sing, dance, act, write. You do it all. You come to Talk It Out Radio. So tonight we have a very special guest in the building. He is a film producer, writer, and director. We got Mr. Jermaine Smith in the building here with us tonight with one of his cast members, Miss Stephanie. She's one of the actresses in the film. He has an upcoming film coming up that we're going to discuss tonight. Well, actually, I think it's already out. Let me correct myself. And this film is out on Amazon, guys. So we're going to talk to him about it and get some information about this film and what he has coming up next and who's in this film and what inspired this film. We're gonna get all of his business tonight, y'all. So make sure you call in if you have any questions. 347-708-0216 is our number. We got our hot topics as usual. We got a letter from a listener. We got our news and gossip and lots of fun. So it's gonna go down tonight. If you guys are tuning in on Facebook, if you're on iAccess Radio website, whether you're on the app, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Ustream, there's tons of ways to be watching and listening to Talk It Out Radio right now. So we're going to bring our guests up shortly, but before we do, we got some announcements. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm excited this week, not just because it's Valentine. Well, yeah, because it's Valentine, but because of what I'm doing on Valentine. I don't know if you guys know, but as a child, I always was a big Brandy fan, and so I'm going to see Brandy this Friday, and I've been super excited for like days now. I've been preparing, singing all Brandy's songs, because you know I'm gonna have to reach out to B Rocco on that stage, and we're gonna have to rock out for a few songs. I could do a whole concert, to be honest, but I'm excited to see her with Drew Hill and Tony Tone and Carl Thomas. That's gonna be like pretty dope. So I'm excited about that on Friday. And I'm excited to be my love too, but you know I'm more excited about Brandy. So shout out to you lovers out there. I hope you guys are going out on the 14th. Ladies, if y'all going out on the 13th or the 15th, you already know. You the side chick. I'm sorry. Make sure he's taking you out on the 14th. So let us know what you guys are doing for Valentine's Day. You can call in as well. Let's share some stories. What are you getting your mate for Valentine? I have been having a really hard time trying to think of a gift. For guys, like, what do guys like? I don't understand. Like, everything that I can think of, you know, they already have. So what is there to get for the guy? I heard someone say, you know, oh, just give him some sex. But if they get that all the time, is that really a gift? So I'll make sure I ask a guy when he gets up here. Like, he said leftovers. Is that what you said? It's not leftovers. Like, every time is like the first time, okay? So get it right. He's over there coughing, y'all. We gonna get it all in it right there with that one. But Valentine's Day is coming up this Friday. So for those of you who do celebrate it and have fun with it, have fun. If you guys are watching, you see that I look a little different up here. I am wearing my natural hair tonight, guys. Like, I wish I had applause for that. I'm wearing my natural hair tonight. Thank you, sister. Thank you. That is something I don't ever do. I am a wig queen. I don't care what nobody say. I have plenty of hair. I just don't like to do my hair. And I like to do different things every day with my hair and be a different person. Like, people don't recognize me from day to day. They're like, wait, who you? Oh, you from yesterday. Oh, yeah, okay. I like that. But, you know, my natural, it does make me look more sophisticated, but it's natural. There's not much I can do with it besides a big old fro. I don't know what to do with this hair, but I am rocking my natural, guys, and people seem to love it. My boo loves it, so I guess that's all good. But guys, so I'm going to see Brandy this Friday. I'm rocking my natural hair. We got my birthday coming up next month in March. Maybe that's why I'm like wearing my natural the older I get. I don't know, because I never would do this like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. This would have never happened. So maybe because I'm getting older, but my birthday's coming up in March. It's also the 5-year anniversary from Talk It Out Radio coming up in March. So we're going to be doing some fun things. I don't know what yet, but I had to figure out what we're doing for the anniversary show. Don't forget, guys, I am a fashion designer as well. Stallion Style Designs. You got prom season coming up. Summertime is coming up. All these fashion events are coming up. So make sure you check out Stallion. Hit me up, guys, and let Stallion style you. And I think that's about it. Oh, besides my birthday shout outs. Happy birthday. My cousin's birthday is coming up in 2 days. So happy birthday to Shakura. Lady Grace, as she's known here on iAxis. And also my stepdad's birthday is tomorrow. So happy birthday to him all the way out in Florida. If you guys have any birthday shout outs, of course, you all can call in 347-708-0216. So I'm going to get the party started, guys. We're going to get my guest up here. Take a quick break. And when we come back, we got Mr. Jermaine Smith in the building. You guys don't go anywhere. This is Talk It Out Radio.
Awesome. What a fucking guy. He said he loved you. What a fucking lie. He calls you honey. He's stacking money 7 months into your pregnancy. This nigga acting funny. He just wanted to bone. Such a disappointment. He missed appointments, and you all alone. He don't answer the phone when it's time to deliver. Brenda little sister gotta push on her own. Fast forward, baby's in school, acting aggressive. Supposed to be in 3rd grade, but he back in the 2nd. They put him in special ed and give him medication. The side effects got him looking like a zombie. They blame it on the mommy, but it's ADD, absent daddy disorder. Set my babies free. They gon' grow up, blow up, and make crazy G's. Ladies, please stay strong and raise these seeds. I see you trying right, I see you fighting right. I light a light for my baby mamas that cry at night. Who gon' teach a little man how to ride a bike, how to fight, how to pee, how to read, how to write? It's Friday night and your friends popping bottles, all up in the club while you warming up the bottle. But you keep on trying right, you keep on fighting right. I light a light for my baby mamas that cry at night.
You make that sacrifice, create that passion light. Gotta succeed for your seeds on your path in life. Such an attractive sight, cause she like Aphrodite, the goddess astonished, even the master's eyes. She rationalized how she has to grind, teaching the kids how to live and adapt their minds. To read between the lines and detach the lies, so they can proceed to rise through these tragic times. Indeed, it's so hard on your own when low paying job, baby, father is gone. He make your heart throb, ponder his tone, but all he can do is just call on the phone. Collect charge, out of control, accept all, but how long can this go on before responses is cold? Plus he don't understand and can't offer no hope.
I see you trying right, I see you fighting right. I light a light for my baby mamas that cry at night. Who gon' teach a little man how to ride a bike, how to fight, how to pee, how to read, how to write? It's Friday night and your friends popping bottles, all up in the club while you warming up the bottle. But you keep on trying right, you keep on fighting right. I light a light for my baby mamas that cry at
Never
night.
alone, you appreciate those growing with you. Like moms holding down a home, you going to dinner. Or friends who help you so long, you call them your sister. Cause you're the backbone, strong and all of your vigor. At times you sit in zone and wrongly consider making it hell for homes that's gone from the picture. You need to atone or ponder this vision. You can't make him grown, he has to want to be different. Honoring all the women, realizing existence that don't dare rise but hit the grind and go get it. Knowing times get hard, you've been scarred through the mission, but you wipe it all off and push it more to the limit. Crying is a part of life, death and decision you illuminate bright, cause there's no stress when you winning. So analyze life and find a lesson. Life, you passed the test, you done did it, girl.
I see you trying right, I see you fighting right. I light a light for my baby mamas that cry at night. Who gon' teach a little man how to ride a bike, how to fight, how to pee, how to read, how to write? It's Friday night and your friends popping bottles, all up in the club while you warming up the bottle. But you keep on trying right, you keep on fighting right. I light a light for my baby mamas that cry at night.
For real. Kissy.
I've just come.
Hey, yes, that was some Bobby Stone. You guys are still tuning in to Talk It Out Radio with me, your host, Grace the Stallion. And if you guys are just tuning in, shame on you. Now, you haven't missed much, but we got our guest in the building, guys, and I'm ready to introduce the guest to you for tonight. We got Mr. Jermaine Smith, writer, film producer, and director.
Yeah.
What's up?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Very, very welcome. Why don't you pull your mic over to you just a little bit so we can hear you. There you go. There you go. And then we have one of his cast members, Miss Stephanie. She does voiceovers and one of the actresses in the film.
Thank you for having me.
Very welcome. She's beautiful, guys. I hope y'all watching. Like, I don't know if she's singing around. I'm gonna put her on the market. So, it is very welcome to have you guys here on Talk It Out.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
This is what the platform is for. People that are out there doing some great things. And your film, when I even saw the name of it, I was just like, this is interesting. And then I read what you wrote, and I was like, wow, this is definitely interesting.
Thank you.
So I want everybody to get to know your film. It is on Amazon, correct?
Yes.
And it's called The Needs.
Yes.
Plural, The Needs.
The Needs.
The Needs. Why don't you tell everybody what that's about?
Well, The Needs is a short film that I wrote based on the challenges that parents go through, educators, family members, and caretakers of children with special needs. I think it's a very taboo topic that we don't discuss in our community, in our culture.
Yes, definitely.
And a lot of parents come off as embarrassed.
Right.
You know, there are teachers who they struggle with it. You know, some people do it for the passion, some people do it for the paycheck.
Yep.
Some caretakers are forced to raise the children.
Right.
They may have a child that's on drugs themselves, so now the grandparent becomes, the caretaker, so on and so forth. So many different avenues of children with special needs, and we never hear the sides of the people that deal with them, the people that raise them, the people that, are hands-on.
Right.
We never get to see their view.
Right.
What the teachers go through. Do they take that home with them?
Right. True.
The parent that's been abandoned by the other parent because of the child has special needs. So we never really hear that side. So with this film, I just wanted to offer both sides of the parent and the school teacher and the caretaker and family members.
So we get the side from the teacher side, we get the parent side.
Yes.
Do we get the child side?
No, we don't get the child side. But
Okay.
that's something that you really can see. Like you'll see a kid in Home Depot acting out, and us that don't have no knowledge, we'll say, well, why don't they just beat that child?
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So I want to give it from a point of view of an adult who
All
can
right.
thoroughly explain it or show you that they're miseducated.
Gotcha.
Even as a teacher, you can be miseducated, misinformed, because you may not know what type of medicine this children needs, or is on, or if not on. Does this medicine have steroids?
Right.
So there's a lot of information that we don't know, and I'm still learning, even after writing and researching.
Right. So when you say special needs, what range of special? Because there's all different types.
Right.
So are you saying like the severe ones, or are you saying the ones that may just have an attention problem,
The
or
entire spectrum.
behavior problems,
behavior,
all of it?
everything. We want to cover everything because there's
Gotcha.
different parents suffering through different things. One kid may be nonverbal.
Right.
Another kid may be highly autistic, severe, mild, medium. So we want to cover everything what each parent go through. Each parent might have a different struggle, a different fight, and a different story.
Okay. So when you did the film, what came to your mind to put all this together? Like, how did you put it together? Like, what is the film entailing?
Well, I have a cousin. He's more like a nephew. He's about 22, 23, and I've witnessed it and seen it, but he's so intelligent in so many areas. And then there's areas where he's not. He can sing every song, do this, that, tell you what you said, comedian, but he can't clean himself in the bathroom.
Right.
Then I have a 9-year-old son who suffers from anxiety because his confidence. He gets a 99 on the test and he beats himself up.
Wow.
He gets 100. He gets a 95. But it's not good. So he suffers with that confidence where everything has to be perfect.
Right.
So I said, let me write about it because I was punishing him for things that he had no control over.
Right. That's really,
so I had to put him in activities to
that's
learn
really
more.
a special need, having that type
Yeah,
of
he has
anxiety.
anxiety. He has
I might
anxiety.
have it too, because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
You give me a 90, I'm ready to fight the teacher. Like, no, but seriously, that really is a condition.
They say he has ADHD. I don't see it, but they're quick to diagnose our children.
Right. That
which
was
is
another
something
question.
something we want to address in the film as well.
Right.
Our kids get diagnosed and put into certain classes and groups, and
Right. But
they're
that's
left
my
there.
question. How does a parent know when these teachers are referring or saying that their children have some sort of special need? How does the parent confirm that to make sure, or they just take the teacher's word?
Well, I know that they would have to take their children to get evaluated to see
Right.
what level of if there is a special need there, what level of special need that they need, the help that they do need, and the education, the proper education that they need, because not every child that has special needs is on the same level.
Right.
So the education will be different for each child according to their special needs.
Okay. And is every school set up to deal with children with special needs?
No.
No. No.
Do we touch that in the film?
We do and we don't.
Okay.
We do as far as the parents and the families not being able to have any outlets besides just school, sending them to school. Like that's their timeout for them. Is sending them to school, and then that's not the timeout for the teachers. That's where it begins for them.
Right.
So it's basically something that you have to communicate. If you are a parent with special needs children, you have to be on that communication level with the teachers.
And are all teachers able to spot those type of things?
I would say no. I would say no from personal experience, because there's so much out there that we don't go after. Right. You have to really get into the trenches and say, well, my child needs an 8 to 1 to 1.
Right.
He needs 8 kids in his class, and a teacher, and maybe a para.
Right.
Some kids can't learn with 24 students in the class.
Absolutely.
They may need 15. They may need 12. They may need 8.
Right.
They may need that special tip. And some children need a certain room tone.
Yep.
Right.
The room may need to
The
be sky blue.
environment.
The lights may need to be low.
I know. Yes.
You know, so there's so many things that you have to really get into and look into it. So I was blessed to have my son's mother to be in the educational field.
Nice.
So she knew the avenues to go to get the school bus, to get this, to get the teacher,
right,
to get the grants. You know, because public school ain't for every child.
No.
You know,
no, nope. Not.
Academic schools ain't for every child. Sometimes you need a specialized school for gifted children.
Right.
You know, what made me really start, I went to my youngest son's school, and the kids are walking around there that look like they can bend spoons just by looking at them.
Wow.
They all look highly intelligent.
Right.
And you would never know. I'm like, this is like a school for the X-Men. I'm saying to myself. And they're so talented. The kids are just super talented and gifted. They just have different special needs.
Right.
You know what I mean? They need to be catered to a certain extent.
So do you think there needs to be a specialized institution for children like this, where they can get what they need instead of being mixed in with other children where it's hard to accommodate them?
There possibly are. There might be some schools like that. Because, you know, you look at the kids, they're like, these are the kids that I picked on when I was in school.
Right.
That other people picked on.
Right.
They were just so high intelligent. They just need, or they was on a particular floor in our school.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some kids, you think special ed, people think that they look funny, act funny. It's not like that. You know, some kids you can look at it and tell, some kids you can't.
Yeah, like my
so
son, he has a sensory problem. When he was little, you know, it was hard because I didn't know about it until he was diagnosed when he was 3. And when he would get on the train or the bus, he didn't like the motion of it, so he would scream from the beginning to the end of the ride, like if someone was really hurting him.
Right.
So it's like everybody's looking at you. You don't know what really is going on with your kid. You're like, what's wrong? You know, it's a lot of things, emotions that you're going through because you really don't know.
Right.
And then when you do find out, being in our culture, you know, Black Spanish culture, we kind of sweep that under the rug. Like, oh no, there's nothing wrong with them. Oh, your head is just bad. It's okay. Don't worry. Just study more. You know, they really don't talk about it. And they just kind of it'll be all right. It'll be okay.
Very true. I mean, the reason why I feel like this is touching home is because I'm actually going through that with my son right now, who is really, really smart, always an A/B student in school. But every teacher would always say things like, oh, you know, sometimes he just zones out in class, or he's not very organized, he can't find his stuff, and they're like, you know, talk to his pediatrician, and maybe he has some like some organization issues, or like saying he has ADD type of thing. And I'm just like, my son has always been an AB student, so I keep putting that in my head.
Right.
But then he's in that. That's what I said.
My son goes
that's what I said, because I'm trying to take it there, because he
Right.
still gets A's and B's when they say these things, and then the school he's in now is horrible.
But organization to whose level?
That's
you
what
understand
I'm
saying.
thinking.
Is it to the teachers' organization
And that's what
level?
I was asking. How do the parents decipher what the teacher says, if it's right or not?
Right.
Because I listened to them, I heard them out, but at the end of the day, I know my child, and I'm like, he's now failing his classes in this school in the past term, only because of the distractions.
Right.
He's being teased, and they're bullying him, and then they're always disturbing the classes a lot.
Right.
So I'm like, let's address those issues. That's what's distracting him.
Right.
That's why he doesn't like school anymore, and he's not doing his work, because that's not how he is.
Right.
He's in 6th grade. He has always been an AB student, and he's been in a harder school than this one.
Right.
So I know it's not the work. So it was like I was getting frustrated, and I was this close to taking him to the doctor, which I did take him to the doctor, and she gave me some paperwork to have the teachers fill out, like I guess questions about him, and then she's like, bring it back and she'll evaluate him. But I never gave it to them because I'm like, it's not my kid.
Right.
Right.
You see how you said like even this? I was this close to
this
taking
close,
him. Like
but-
we as parents, you know, we don't want that to be
Right.
the issue. We don't want that to be like, oh no, not my
Right. So I'm
kid,
like,
you
am I
know?
wrong? Should I
Right.
do it? Because I really don't think that's the problem. And even now, like he's getting his A's again now. So I'm just like, is it really him or is it this school?
Right.
It really could be the school sometimes.
Right.
Right. He might need a school.
Because it's never, I've never had this
And the
problem
control
before.
of the teacher,
He's
you
never
know.
gotten a D or an F. He's always
Right.
been an A, B student. So I'm like, something's wrong with this school.
Right.
So it's like parents have to know. Don't get it twisted. If it does become a problem, I will take him.
Right.
And I will go forward with it. But they talking about put him on a 504 plan and all this kind. And I'm like, what? What is all this
Yeah,
stuff?
what are you
Well,
talking about?
I believe it's good to do and act early.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can catch it early. My son was in the School of Columbia for the second grade, and he would run out of class once he's bored. And that became a threat because he can run out the class and go out the building.
Right,
You know what I mean? So he got bored, distracted. He wouldn't let other kids learn because he's highly intelligent.
Right.
First grade, he's reading on third grade level.
Right.
Second grade, he's reading on the fourth grade level.
Right. That's
You know,
right.
but he was just
Bored.
immature as a kid. So being that he spoke so intelligent, they treat him as an adult. But you can't. He's still a kid.
Right.
You know, and so when they punished him or they disciplined him as if he was an adult.
Right.
When he was 6, 7, 8 years old.
Gotcha.
We had to get him out that school and get him to a school where we could focus more on him as an individual.
Right.
And that school, they just wasn't built for it.
Right.
They particularly wasn't built to discipline and educate totally Black and Hispanic children.
I agree.
My son was in there because he made their percentages look better. He was intelligent, passed all their tests, but we still got to bring some Black children in here. We still got to bring some Hispanic
it's an
children in
affirmative
here.
action.
But they
It's
didn't
true.
have a dean in that school. They didn't have a guidance counselor in that school. You know, it was a School of Columbia. It looks great, sound great on your resume.
Right.
But if you can't do what's best for the child, he doesn't belong there.
That's the school, and that's why I'm hesitating taking him out because, like you just said, it's a really good school. It goes all the way up to 12th grade. Kids get into really good colleges coming from this high school, and they keep trying to tell me, like, we'll work it out. Don't take him out, and they try to get me to keep him there. But I really don't feel like it's a good environment,
Right.
especially when he's been in awesome schools, and we only changed because we moved. And I regret it now, but he was in some awesome schools. Like my son reads like on a high school, college level. He can spell words that most adults can't spell.
Right,
like
right.
he's smart.
Stuff to be on the back of the medicine.
Right. So when you
You're
say
like,
like
I'm
he
the
zones
oxyphone.
out, like she's like he'll just space out during class. I'm like, well, maybe your class is boring, or what
Exactly,
kid really
not
can't just sit and
challenging them.
focus for 60 whole minutes without
right.
zoning out? I don't even do that. I'm an
Exactly.
adult.
Right.
So these
Exactly.
things I think about, and I'm just like, I don't know if that's a problem or it's just who he is, and he still succeeds. So
Right.
I don't know how to go about it, which is why I'm asking.
It's best, I would say, try to get him evaluated so you can see where he at.
Okay.
Because you want to put him on the right path.
Okay.
Early. You know, you don't want to get too far ahead, then you got to come back.
Right.
So you get him on the right path early, because 7th grade, he might need to be somewhere else.
Right.
And you don't want to be in 9th grade and say, I should have made that switch when he was going to 7th.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So get evaluated. It can only help.
What scares me though is giving those forms to the teacher, and because their minds are already made up, they fill out those forms accordingly, and it's not really honest. And then the doctor is gonna make her decision based off of those answers.
Well, that's what you want to fight against, because you don't want them to build his life off of a case study. Because they're going to give their case study of him, and you want this next person to be as honest as possible. You know, so you need to lock in with that other person. If you got to get a third opinion. So if everything start equaling out with all three, then we have something.
Gotcha.
But if one person says this movie's a 10, another person says a 4, another person says an 8, we got a problem.
Something's not
Gotcha.
adding up.
That 4 don't match
Right.
this 10 and 8.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I would get a couple more opinions
That makes
and go there. It
sense.
wouldn't hurt.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
And just, you know, do the research. If I can pass on some numbers, you do the research. Because I'm pretty sure there's free programs that do the research, and there's paid ones.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes we need to do 2 free and 1 paid.
So you guys were meant to be here. And it's also funny because that's my question of the night, because I've been seriously considering homeschooling.
Okay.
And so that was our question of the evening, is homeschooling becoming the new wave for parents? A lot of parents, especially in Connecticut, are homeschooling their children.
Right.
I'm in school, and there's a kid in one of my classes who told us he, up until college right now, he has been homeschooled his entire life.
wow.
Right.
And he was saying how great he thought it was. He didn't miss. We were like, do you miss like the school environment? He was like, no. He hasn't been in school since he was in 1st grade. He's like, no.
Wow.
See, that's my biggest question with that. How will they deal with now going back into society?
Right.
Because you're spending so much time at home. And sometimes you need that environment because it creates
social
balance.
environment.
But what I
social-
heard with homeschooling is they get with other homeschool kids
Okay.
and they do things together. You
Right.
still have to make it like school, take them
Right.
on trips and, you know, have them in an environment where they're with other children and maybe send them to somebody else's homeschool for the day so they
Okay.
can, you know, get that interaction.
I don't know if I could learn
But
on the
there's-
cereals right there. The cereal in the other room.
I don't know if I can listen.
cereal.
No, Yeah, and not only that, like I gotta listen to my mom on top of that. Like how much is really getting absorbed in there? Like
School was like, I'm getting away from you, mom.
Right. I gotta wear my cool
But you
clothes
gotta
today.
make it fun. And it's not as long as a day of school.
Right.
Like it depends on how fast your child learns. So if your kid can get through the lesson in 30 minutes versus in a classroom that takes them an hour
Right,
for 5 days to get it, you know what I mean? They learn faster.
I would love to know how that
It's
worked out.
less distractions,
for folks.
and I'm really considering doing it.
I guess if you have the financial backing where one parent or that parent can take the time to homeschool a kid, I guess okay. But I mean, you really have to be financially
Right, because you have to buy the textbooks and you have to buy the
You
material.
can't be at
and-
work. I mean, you have to go on the trips and plan out the day. And
Right,
different tests
you have to be like a probably
your
a
teacher-
stay-home mom or
Teacher.
at least, or maybe work part-time, something like that.
Something.
Right.
How you play hooky
Or
from
work
homeschool?
nights.
Because these,
Yeah,
but because these schools are so horrible now,
Right.
Yeah,
homeschooling is becoming people's number one option.
yeah. That and the forced vaccines.
That's a
I
major
think.
part of
That
the film
too.
too. That's
That
a major
is-
part of the film that we need to go to see who's teaching our kids, who's the nurse for our kids, who's doing X, Y, Z. We have to really become a part of the school, you know.
Right.
PTA meetings were a big thing when we growing up.
Yes.
You know, you got to go there, you got to see what the principal
Report
was.
card night.
Since-
Remember how long that was?
And
Yeah.
that has gone by the wayside.
Right,
Yeah.
parents don't even go to
They don't
parent-teacher
even
nights
go
anymore.
Yeah, they
Parents
don't.
go live.
And I was talking about that just earlier. I was having a huge debate on Facebook because I saw a news article where in some part of New York, I've never heard of this part of New York anyway, but it's some part
say
of the
Brooklyn.
west side. No, it's like North Tonawand, New York.
Heard of that.
Me either. It's on the west side. Well, anyway, they came up with a new law where they are jailing parents and fining them when their children are bullies for bullying.
Okay.
And I put it on Facebook, and I had some girls like, "No, I don't agree with that. Why are you punishing the parent? You know, if the child has behavior issues, the parent doesn't always know. All these
That's a
excuses."
tough one.
And
That's
I'm
a
tough one.
That's a tough one.
It's tough, but it's not tough. Like the law.
Because we all don't know what our children do outside of our view.
We don't.
Right, but in a school, if they're bullying in a school
Right.
and that other parent reports that bullying, the school is obligated
Okay, the school-
to write it up,
Right,
call
right.
that parent,
Right.
make that
Get them
parent
informed,
aware.
right.
So something of that severity, your parent
Got you.
knows.
But arresting the parent?
Now they're not arresting them the
Okay.
first time
Fining
it
them.
happens. It's when it's repetitive and
Okay.
nothing is getting done about it.
Okay.
Then they will either fine them, depending on how many times it's happened. They're gonna fine them. I think it's set up to like $250, or they get 15
That's a
days
tough
in
one.
jail.
That's a tough one.
And they're using that as a
Why can't the
deterrent.
kid get 15 days in
That's-
jail?
you as a school, you can let me know that my child has been a bully. I could take my child to a psychiatrist, this, that, and the third, and if nothing changes, how is that my
Now,
fault?
that's
Right.
why I
took
think.
my
Well, do
steps
they have to show
correct
the
it.
proof?
That's what
that
I'm
they-
saying. I think
Right.
that it's not for parents who are actively trying to get their kid the help. Like if your kid got some behavior issues, and like you said, they're seeing somebody professionally.
Right.
They're communicating with the teachers. They have a plan in place. They're being called when it's happening. That's different. It's like we're not
Right.
gonna throw you in the jail when you're trying.
Okay.
It's for these parents who, oh, that's not my son wouldn't do that, or when they get home,
Oh,
don't
the
do that to that
denying
kid no more. And
enablers.
then
Right.
that's it. And then they kid go and do it again
That's a
and
tough
do it
one.
again. Or they think their kid is. Or they think it's okay.
That's something to write about.
There's some parents
That's
that think that
time
stuff
to
is
start
okay.
signing
Oh, it's
papers.
just, he ain't really hurting him. He just called him fat. Like
What
you
if,
don't
what if you
know.
have two twins, right? And they're being raised the same way. One twin is a bully, the other one is not. You get the same morals at home. That child chose that path.
Right, right.
That child chose that
Now,
path.
I don't know,
So
right.
how do you know what I mean? How do
Right,
come back
you
to the
can
parent?
have two different children, but you got the same parent. And if that parent is doing what she's supposed to do, your kid should fear you. I'm sorry. Your kid should have some level of fear
Or
in
respect.
you and respect, because once you tell them not to do that, or you punish them, or they know that their parent is no joke, that kid is most likely not going to do it again.
But then
I-
there's the kid that the parent bullies the kid, and the kid just that's what they repeat, and the parent doesn't think there's anything wrong with
And
that.
that's what I'm saying. Those are the ones that need to be in jail, because the parent is thinking there's nothing wrong with it. The kid is learning it from somewhere. You can have two different kids, but they're learning it from somewhere. So if it's not coming from mommy, who does mommy have them around? Ultimately, it's still the parent's fault. Even if it's a mistake, yeah, like they said, oh, well, the kid could have some issues. How did the kid get those issues? Who did mommy, maybe the kid was molested. Well, then who did mommy leave that kid with to get molested? It still
That's a
comes
tough
back to
one.
the mother. We are always responsible for our children,
That's
so I
a
don't know
tough
why
one.
this is a surprise.
Can I
People
throw
are
a
like,
scenario
well,
out there?
Sure.
You heard of the Central Park jogging case when the
Yep.
5 kids supposedly
Right. Yep.
raped the lady?
Right.
We saw the movie, right? When they see us, say it was 15 kids out there. All them kids got different parents. The 5 that were innocent, They could have had good parents, bad parents, but they still were innocent. What about the kids that, or the one person that actually did it?
Right.
His parents could have been a Christian, great, whatever have you, but that was his personality,
But
his makeup.
just because she's a good person,
Go out there.
don't mean she was a good mother.
Right.
Some mothers want to be their kids' best friends. Some mothers don't discipline their kids. They think, oh, it's all right, you know, it's all right. And those kids grow up thinking that's how life is. I can do whatever I want because my mom let me do whatever I want. It starts at home. I don't
Starts at
care
home, right?
how Christian-like you are. You gotta know when to put your foot in your kids' behind, when to give them hugs, when to yell, when to punish, when to take away, when to say enough is enough, when to be their best friend. You gotta play a million roles. So that mother failed that child somehow.
Okay, I want to offer devil's advocate.
And I'm not gonna put it on moms, dads too. It's both parents.
I love the debate. I just want to have devil's advocate. I'm gonna take myself for example. My father died when I was 4, going on 5. My mother used drugs since she was 20. Crack cocaine, 25 plus years. Just me and my sister. Her sister, which is my aunt, married, husband, both alive to this day, 3 kids. Oldest child in jail for 175 years for kidnapping, raping women.
Wow.
Yeah, both parents. Second oldest child sold guns in the street. I sold them with him. Third child on drugs, seven kids. Started drugs in her late 30s. They had both of their parents. My father died in 1980. My mother been on crack and other drugs since 1980 because she was a 20-year-old mother with 2 kids.
Right.
I don't rob and steal. I go to work every day.
Who raised you?
My aunt, partially with the 3 kids, and my grandmothers. But I knew right from wrong. I knew when to turn it off and stop. My cousins love them to death, but that's what they chose to do. And they had 2 great parents that worked every day of their life.
Right. Means
so
nothing.
It doesn't always come back to
At
the parents.
all. Oh no, it comes back to the parents.
Always.
Those parents did something wrong. They were working. Maybe they were working a lot and wasn't there for those children. See what I'm saying? It comes back to the parents in some
and
way.
They still wanted more.
That's my point.
But
you were appreciative because you didn't have what they had.
I had none.
See, that's my point. So you appreciated it.
At some
They
point,
did not.
You got to say to yourself, right, this is right and that's wrong.
Right.
And keep going. But you got to get past
As an
mommy and
adult,
daddy.
but
Right,
these
as an
are
adult.
still kids that are bullying other kids, so they haven't learned yet. Mommy still has to mold them. She's not doing something right, especially when she knows her kid is a bully.
What if mommy sees that their kid is a bully
Doing
and
her best.
is trying to mold them, but the kid is still like,
It's too late. Like you, okay.
What age is too late?
Woo,
We
that
got 12-year-old
depends.
bullies. We got
If you have a parent who let this kid from birth, the kid could be 6.
Right.
But for 6 years, this kid's been doing whatever they want, throwing take for instance white kids,
think sometimes
throwing
they make
tantrums, whatever. Mommy can't control that kid. But guess what? It could be a stranger who is totally different. Don't take that kind of stuff. That can check that kid before mommy can, because it's too late for mommy now. She done let this go on for so long. Now that the world is starting to see it, it's becoming a problem. Now you want to correct it. It's too late. That kid's looking at you like a joke.
It might be individual basis because that kid might straighten up in front of that person. But when that person is not there, that kid's back to who they
That's what I'm
were.
saying, because he knows who they can get over with. Like even with my son, he knows his dad is the pushover. He can get whatever he wants with his
mommy ain't
dad,
playing.
but he knows mommy don't play that.
Right.
So things that he'll do with his dad, he won't dare do with me. In fact, his dad will call me. Him and his grandmother will call me when he's doing something wrong. They call me. I'm like, aren't you with your father? They will call me because they know.
So who that falls back on? Why don't he act the same around both of y'all?
Who, my son?
Yeah.
Because he knows what he can get away with daddy.
So
with daddy, he
that
might
falls
be this
back on
different
daddy?
kid. Yes.
It don't fall back on mommy?
No, because with mommy he don't do those things.
So if he
and
go-
when
if
he's
your son-
under mommy's care, when I send him
but
to
does
school,
mommy
he's not doing that.
does mommy also tell him the same way
I
you
sure
do
do.
this? You gotta do it with
I
daddy.
do all the time. That's why they call me.
Right.
All they gotta do is say, "I'm gonna call your mother." He
So he
straightens
knows.
up.
So he knows the
That's
right
what
and
comes
wrong.
back to that
and he
fear.
chooses
Right.
but he chooses.
Right.
I'm gonna play it this route because
Right.
I know what I can get.
He
from
might
this
want to
parent.
exactly. He might
So
want to
he makes
act up
that
in
choice.
school, but he knows that they're gonna call. The teacher
call
said,
mommy.
But he
the
makes
teacher
that
told me
choice.
one day and said, "I don't know what you're doing to your son."
Right,
He was like, "But this kid got some respect and fear for you." He said, "I saw him just playing around with one of his friends." He said, I tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Now, would your mother like that? You want me to call your mother?" He said his face straightened up. He was like, "No." He said, "I have no problem for the rest of the class. No problem with him." He was like, "Whatever you're doing, keep it up." You have to stay in these kids, especially mothers with boys.
Right.
Boys run over their mothers the most. You got gotta stay in their behinds. My teenage son is 19. Oh, he tried me, but he never did the same thing more than once. He tried.
Right.
He tried some stuff, but I would get in him so bad.
And they
He
both
would
different. Him and his
anything.
brother
I don't
different.
totally. My youngest son won't dare do half the
But
things
you
his
know
brother
what?
did.
I don't know. My son is 18 and I'm the wild one, and my son, right? He's like
Real
no trouble
opposite.
at all. Nothing. Not one thing. I'm like, do something. Like
You stay
I'm
in
waiting
his zone.
for it.
Wait for it. How old is he?
18.
Oh, your oldest is 18.
My only.
Aw.
That's it. He's just, I don't know. Like,
That's
I'm
a
the party one.
blessing.
And he's like,
Chill.
Mine tried me at every turn, okay?
how it be.
But he still wasn't bad. He did like normal teenage stuff, trying to stay out late, you know,
Right.
lying about stuff.
I try to make him stay out late, right? I'm like, go. Let me drop you off at this party.
I was
you guys want me to get you
but,
beer?
Ain't happening.
Like, I was just a different. I
Doesn't
get his
happen.
phone. I'm calling coaches. If you say I'm going to football, I'm calling your coach.
Right, to make sure
Is he? I'm sorry. You got Messiah. What time is it over? What time you bringing him home?
Right.
I knew if he said I'm going to my friend John's house. Okay, what's John's mom's number? I'm calling John's mom.
That's good parenting.
Parents don't do that anymore, and then
No.
you wonder why your kid is out doing what they're doing. It always comes back to home. If you, like the old Bible says, train a child in the way they should go. And most 99% of the time they won't. You know,
That's a
even
good-
if
that's a
they
good
do it
debate.
wrong, they still know better. Like you said, when they get older, you have your own choices to make. But
Right.
when you're a kid, that's on the parent. That's on the parent.
But peer pressure plays a big part. You know what I mean? Because we teach them 18 years.
And
Some of them make them fit in
curiosity.
18 minutes.
That
Yeah,
is
so it's
if
tough.
And
that is tough as a
curiosity.
parent. It depends on that child.
Tough as a parent.
Because every child has peer pressure,
And
and
curiosity.
most of them
And
don't fall for
curiosity.
it.
Because I got in a lot of trouble just being curious. Like,
Right.
what's this? Even though I know I'm not supposed to do that, I
Right.
just do it.
And sometimes I mean, it depends. We'll do certain things,
Right.
you know, that other kids won't do, and then there's things that other kids will do that we won't do.
Then we're like, what?
But
Yeah,
so
right.
we all kind of fall for peer pressure in some sort of way because we're curious. We're
Right.
curious beings. But the really bad stuff, like if you are instilled, have those values instilled in you, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. I grew up. I didn't touch weed. The very first time I ever tried weed, I was 29 years old. I never had, and all of my friends were smoking, and I was
Right.
just like, no, I'm good. Pass.
Right.
I never fell for that kind of
Right.
stuff because I knew better. And my parents, I was scared of.
Wrong.
I mean, I knew better too, and my parents
So
were
I made mistakes,
Catholic
but I
as
knew
everything, and I was like, what
I
you
made
doing?
mistakes, but I knew going home to my mother, it was gonna be over, and I would never do it again.
I ain't trying to
Like
do
I
it
was
like
a
we-
one and done. I do it one time, and it's a
That's it.
wrap.
I tried it. I came. I conquered. It wasn't for
Right,
me.
right. And it's weird. We have a letter from a listener every week. We read a letter that someone wrote us, and it's kind of pertaining to tonight as well. It's a mother who's talking about a bad marriage she's in, and she won't get out of it because of her children and the stigma of being a single mom raising children and how they turn out bad. And I'm like, we're just talking about that, right? And it's in her letter, so we're gonna definitely have to give her some advice on that. But I want to get back to this film. So, guys, when you shot this film, how long did it take you for shooting?
One day.
Really?
Yeah.
How long is the film?
41 minutes.
Yeah.
Nice.
41 minutes.
Is it gonna be a sequel, part 2s, part 3?
No, is
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question.
Parent teacher night. Or?
I know, right? Really?
That's a good question. We started when we did one of the main things we set out to do was to start conversation and discussion and bring it in, but you never know where it can go. You know what I mean? It may have to be stretched out and large because it's a short film. It could be stretched out to a feature or it could be a part 2. You never know.
Nice.
So it depends, but mainly we want to start the conversation and get the discussion going and educate some people and educate ourselves at the same time.
Absolutely.
You know.
That is the
Definitely.
most important thing. This is something so serious because parents really sleep on this kind of thing. I was one of them. I'm like, even now, until talking to you guys, I'm like, my baby fine. And then it comes up again, I'll be all stressed out. So, guys, we are sitting here talking with Mr. Jermaine Smith and Stephanie, a part of the film Need. So, where can they find this film? On Amazon?
Yes, it's on Amazon Prime Video.
Yes.
As well as gyrowebtv.com.
Okay.
So they can get it on Amazon Prime if you remember Amazon Prime or you want to add it to your service, or gyrowebtv.com.
So since it's been out, what's the feedback you've been getting?
The feedback's been great. The behind the closed doors feedback has been individuals like such as yourself want to know if they should do this with their child. Check this out, and they see these type of tendencies and a lot of relatable things in the film. some crying, some denial, and we have about 31 5-star reviews on Amazon.
Really?
About maybe 27 5 stars, 1 4.
Pretty dope.
So it's been good feedback, and a lot of it's been from people that we don't know,
Yes.
Nice.
which is great.
Which is awesome.
Our family and friends would tell us we did a great job. Some family and friends
Right.
tell you it's trash. If it's trash.
Can't please
Right,
everybody,
can't please
right?
You can't make everybody
But
happy.
most times, if a stranger stops and give you their time, there, I really
Absolutely.
believe them and
Yes.
feel it.
So, while you were writing the film, or shooting it rather, what was like your favorite scene in the film? What was something that you really felt like this was a scene you loved?
My favorite scene probably would be the closing ending scene because I wrote that part last.
Emotional.
I had overcast it, and then I said, "Oh man, I got to write some more for this person." I told them they got a role, and I ended up writing a role from one of my favorite scenes from TV, which was Will Smith and Uncle Phil when Will's father left him. And Will had the big crying moment of why my
Right.
father don't want me.
Right.
So I wrote something similar in that vein. And that probably had to be my most favorite scene because there was some feeling in it.
Gotcha.
I've been abandoned, I've been left, by women, mothers, grandmothers, and
Talk
through
about
death. So I really wanted to express that through the writing in that part.
That sounds awesome. You need to write a part 2. I want to see part 1, but I'm just saying. You need to write. So is this the first film you've ever written?
No, I actually have another film on Amazon Prime called A Piece of Me, which is pretty much based around me and my mother's story. It's based on forgiveness.
Okay.
Me and my mother walked around for years.
Very good.
Walked past each other.
Really?
And we treat each other like brother and sister. And my aunt, her sister who I talked about earlier, was more of a mother figure like to me and was my grandmother's.
Gotcha.
So that was A Piece of Me is on Amazon Prime now, but it was originally a stage play. And in 50 shows, close to 100 people turned their life over to God through the play.
Wow.
And that got me on the 700 Club, which did a documentary on me and my mother, who's drug-free now for like the last 16 years.
No, that's awesome.
From a play to a book, now book to a movie.
That's awesome.
So I got about 3 films, maybe 3 or 4 films on Amazon Prime now.
Yeah,
That I wrote, direct,
yeah, the series.
and had a TV series on Amazon Prime.
Wow.
So we were trying to have some fun. Stephanie's in a couple of joints.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Like, so how do you go about choosing your cast? Do you make them audition? Do you just like fill them out?
To me, auditioning is stressful, so I try to work with people that are serious with their craft and want to go somewhere.
Okay.
Because as I try to build my resume, I want to help you build yours. As
Right.
you build yours, help me build mine.
Gotcha.
So if I have something that you can read and act, and you're an actor, let's work together. If you're serious, I just want you to be serious and do your part.
Okay.
Don't misuse me, but use me.
Yeah.
We're all here to be of service.
Okay. Are you you're like the Tyler Perry where you write, act, you do everything on your own. You don't have a team of
The only
writers.
thing I act is stupid.
He had one line. He had
You
one
don't
line.
do Tyler. You don't read in the movie.
He had
Like
one
me.
line, and we all on set, and we're waiting for him.
Really?
Like, someone didn't come,
Acting
so
someone
he
don't
ended
show
up.
up.
Now that's nice.
Someone didn't show up, so he took their place. So he had one line, and he's all in it, and we're waiting for him, and we're like, Jermaine. He's like, I'm a
tell him why.
director.
Tell him
I'm
why I
not an
forgot my
actor.
line.
That's right.
He was in it. He was
I
like
was
this,
directing,
and he was
but I
in
still had a
it.
line. But I'm so
Right.
busy watching them.
Right, and you see him.
Make
He's
sure
like
they do
this.
their parts.
That's right.
And we're like, Jermaine, you have one job to do. He's
Right.
like, I'm not an actor.
How could you mess up one line?
Because he checked me earlier. He was like, not actor, but I was like, oh, I could have sworn I read actor next to your name.
I don't ever want to take a spot from somebody that can be theirs.
Right.
If I'm writing, directing, producing, leave that slot for somebody that can act.
So you think
That's
that
just my thing.
the Spike Lees and Tyler Perrys who inject themselves
That's
into
what
their
works for
own
them.
films?
That's what works for them.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
if somebody look at this film and love it, I don't want to take a spot that somebody else could have had and
Right.
got picked up.
Right, because
Or
I
got
see
to
a
shine.
lot of people do that. They write stuff and then
That's
they're
just-
in their own stuff. And you're right, that could have
It's
been
just not my
something you
thing.
could have put somebody else on for. I mean, you're doing enough. You wrote it. You got to
long-term
watch
goal-
it.
My long-term goal was to be sitting having dinner with a wife and my kids and nobody know who I am.
Right.
Because my face is not
Be
out there
behind
like
the
that.
scenes.
If I can have it that way. When she comes to big time act, she can't do that. You can't sit in a restaurant. People want to come mess up your meal.
true.
Food getting cold. Y'all can have that.
You could be at the next table chilling.
next
like,
table chilling.
Damn it.
Sucks to be her.
I'd be like, I
Well,
see
you
you,
definitely-
Jermaine. Don't act like you nobody can see
You gonna eat
you.
that biscuit?
Sucks to be her. But nowadays, the people behind the scenes are actually in the forefront too. Now people
Right.
know who they are.
Yep.
You know, we know who the
Everybody.
Michael Bay, and
Yep.
we know who they are now.
We
So
know
you
the
see them in
editors
public.
now.
Hey.
I love the behind the scenes. You cannot tell who
I
wrote
love it too.
on Thriller for Michael Jackson.
Right.
You cannot tell who wrote on Off the Wall.
Sure don't.
Right.
We don't know what those people that like that wrote.
You
I
sure
could write till
don't.
I'm 75.
Like, I didn't know Candy wrote a lot of Destiny's Child. I was like, what? Because like you said, the behind the scenes people don't really get their shine.
Right.
Yep.
So, and a lot of them don't want it. They're like, nope, I'm
Right.
good. I got my privacy.
I'm background. I'm good.
Yep.
That's pretty dope. So, Miss Stephanie, what is your role in the film?
I play in the needs. I play Miss Velasquez, and I play a single mother with 2 daughters and a son that has special needs.
Gotcha.
And he basically, well, the character that I put my background story to, he basically stopped being able to make eye contact with people for more than a minute, and he doesn't smile at all.
Wow.
He has no emotions. He shows no emotions at all.
So every child that is portraying a special need in the movie are portraying special needs that are real.
Right. Yes.
Wow.
In a different level.
Different levels.
Yes.
Okay. And then, so what is your consequence in this movie? Like, I mean, what is your struggle rather in the movie?
My struggle
What
is I am also a social worker, and I tend to have a little cocaine problem.
Oh, wow.
Because my son doesn't sleep for more than 4 hours in the night, and he wanders around. So I use
you're constantly
cocaine
up.
to substitute to keep me up.
Wow.
Right.
That is
And I'm a social worker.
deep.
So
Right. What a contradiction. No.
right, like I do drugs to make sure that
Now,
you don't
isn't
die.
that a
you know?
climax? I
Right.
like that.
Right.
I really
Thank
like
you.
that. Yeah, you might have to
She
make
nailed
some,
it. She
some
nailed
parts
it.
too to this.
You know, I had a little
Nailed it.
sniff going on. It worked.
Really?
You know, it worked.
Trying to picture you as a crackhead.
Wait, I'm a social. I'm functioning.
I know that's right.
Functioning crackhead.
She's a functioning crackhead.
There's levels. There's levels.
I know that's right.
Levels to everything.
That is awesome. So is this the first film you've done with Mr. Smith?
No, this is like, oh my goodness. I don't know how many. So many.
Maybe
Wow.
3, 4
4 films.
films, and they got a
and
TV
then
series.
Have they all been different characters?
Yes, they have
So-
all been different
So
characters.
you ain't got typecasted or
No,
nothing.
not yet. Yay! Like I played a homeless woman. I played a girl avenging her mother's death. I played a gangster, like Omar from The Wire in the
Okay.
series. What else? I played Miss Velasquez, the mother of a special needs child who also has a coke problem. I was also in something you directed that's on Amazon Prime.
Tamika and Tammy.
Tamika and Tammy. I played another gangster, but it's not bad.
Awesome.
Had a
And
purpose.
Letting Go, he played a Avenging.
So you've been
Right,
doing
my
this
mom.
for a while.
Yes.
Well, me? No, I feel I'm a baby in this. I'm still a baby.
I mean, it's a learning process.
Yeah.
Everything we do is a learning.
Yeah,
you know,
I
you're
still
just
feel
getting
I'm a
better.
baby.
Right, right. So do you find it hard to, once you got your material written, to get it out there? Like, people who aspire, like, I love to write, but I don't do anything with it.
Right.
And so it's like, mostly because I probably don't know the next step, or I haven't taken that time to research it. And people think that it's just so hard or it's really costly. What is your advice to people out there who do aspire to do film and
I would
television?
say link up with like-minded people, and and write to where I write scripts to where my budget can go.
Okay.
There may be I write a film where it needs $1 million budget because there's explosives. Then you write stuff that I can use my mother's apartment. I can
Right,
use
right.
Johnny Corner Store.
Right,
I can use the
I
hallway.
can use the Chinese
So you,
spot.
right, you know,
Right, so you get the support that you need
yeah,
because
yeah.
you gotta give them
sometimes
like-minded
people don't
people.
want to help, or everybody wants to be paid. Your cast. Is it hard for you to get the cast to dedicate
It
themselves?
depends on who you're working with.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Some people, they reach a certain level where you have to give them pay because they're in a union. And some people are at a level where they're building their resume. Like, you know what? I want to work.
Right,
I'm serious with this. I want to work. And I want to work with both parties.
right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes the best people are the ones that are hungry
That's true.
and trying to work over the people that have made it to a status where they got to get a union day rate because they felt they made it already.
Right, right.
So you just got to get with like-minded people, and they got to have a passion for the project.
Right.
So you might not be able to pay them, but you say, you know what? I'll give you your footage for you to build your reel, to build your resume, and to keep going.
Absolutely.
Right.
And if people see me growing, hopefully they can see you growing.
Right.
So the only thing you have to do is get with like-minded people that want to go in the same direction.
Okay.
And I think that's a major key.
I'm loving it, guys. We have been talking it out with Mr. Jermaine Smith from the upcoming film. Well, I keep saying upcoming, from the new film that's out, The Needs, guys. Go check it out on Amazon. He got his cast member Stephanie here, and we're having a great talk about children with special needs and his upcoming film.
It's all
I
right.
keep
It's
saying
all right.
it's just coming out. Mostly because people that come on here is getting ready to come out.
Right.
But his is already out, guys, so go check it out. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we got a letter from a listener, some news and gossip, and some more with Mr. Smith and Stephanie. We'll be right back.
daddy.
Helping each other.
Gotcha.
How we move and navigate the system, how we can all help each other, maybe we can advice on some problems and how they all collaborate. That's like the main driving force of the movie.
Wow, that is awesome. So I'm dying to see this movie as well. The people who have seen it on your end, Paul, what are some of the feedback that they gave you from the movie?
A lot of people that know around this area of special needs educators, and they say that it really hits home. Some other parents, especially like some other parents with autistic children, it hits home for them also.
That is awesome. So it sounds like you guys work really well together, especially in this film. Were there any challenges? Anybody that just didn't feel like the film was going the way they wanted, or what did you guys just get along great in this film and everybody played their role?
I think it was good.
Yeah, we all love each other. We all know.
We all love each other.
Good answer.
Like a well-tuned, well-oiled machine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is awesome. Thank you, Mr. Paul.
Thank you for calling in, Paul.
Thank you, Tetas.
You guys want to say anything to him?
Appreciate you, Fly
Yes.
Tetas.
Fly Tetas.
Exactly.
Love you.
Thank you, Paul. Have a good night.
Great cookies.
I got you.
Sounds like y'all have fun. Sometimes critics be like, that wasn't really real, or that part is fake, or that's not true, or So I'm just wondering if.
Well, he helped me with a lot of the research. One of his children has special needs. He'll tell you the story himself. One of his children can't whisper. So everything he does, he says loud. They do a lot of family. He's a single dad, 4 kids.
Yeah, shout out to the single dad.
And they go to the movies, and he's talking loud in the movies because he can't control his volume.
Right.
He can't run. Everything is, one speed, whatever have you, so on and so forth. So he was very instrumental with research, and me on the phone talk to him about it. And I salute him. Whenever I call him, he's there.
Definitely salute him.
So appreciate him.
I think that's the most awesome part I'm hearing about this movie is that you guys are really touching on so many different parts of children with special needs. Parts that people don't even know is really a special need. Like if I'm in a theater and somebody's yelling loudly, I'm going to be like, what is this man's problem?
Right.
So it's hard for us to sympathize and understand other people's struggles when we don't know.
Right.
And we're not educated on these things. So I think if more people were educated, they would be more sensitive to stuff like that. Like, well, maybe that kid might have an issue. Dad's just not yelling and being crazy.
And also for the parents, they feel like they actually feel bad for feeling the way that they feel, tired or frustrated or annoyed or aggravated, and they don't have a platform to be able to speak about it because they feel like I shouldn't feel this way. I'm a bad parent on top of that. So I shouldn't speak about it. I shouldn't give my opinion. I shouldn't have an emotion about it. And they need a place too to
That's a good point.
And speak with each other and see that they have the same frustrations.
Right.
And help each other out.
They should be each other's.
And some feel like God is punishing them.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Yes. Why did God give me this child?
Right.
Or how did it happen? Some argue that it happened in vaccination, some hereditary, some saying I was too old to have this kid.
Right.
I got pregnant too late. So there's so many different topics we try to cover in there.
Right.
Blaming themselves.
Right.
So with those struggles, are they still good parents, or are these parents that don't really take care of the kids with those special needs? Do you guys touch on that in the film? Like, I know every parent might be different. There might be one mother that's great at it. There might be one mother, like you said, that's struggling with it and hasn't accepted it. Do you guys touch on that?
Every parent that was actually attended at that scene, I think they have some level of caring for their child because then they wouldn't even be there.
Right.
And there was just a minimal of us. So I'm sure that there's a class of children with special needs. I'm sure it's about 10 or 12 kids. There was only maybe 6 parents there, maybe 5 parents there. So again, it's a lot with time and who's going to watch their child and how they're going to get there and can they leave work and it's a lot when you have a special needs child.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of other circumstances that you have to put in weigh and factor with that.
What about caregivers? Like you said, when the parent has to go to work and it's not school time, they have to give their child to someone else to care for. In your opinion, is that safe, to trust your child who has needs like that maybe not verbal or...
It can be rough because you have to trust the individual.
Right.
First, especially if they're not a family member, then sometimes family members can be worse than a higher
Yes,
health.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It's hard just, leaving your child who has no special needs problems with
That's
someone.
My point.
So it's...
How do they go about finding the right person for their child? That could be really difficult.
And I think it falls back to trust.
Right.
You have to just trust the person. And then it gets tough. There's one parent in there, Pam, who's giving up on love. She's focusing on her children. She don't feel she has time to let no one in, let no one love her.
But at the same time,
and then at the
she's
same
scared.
time, right? She's
She's
scared.
scared of them.
Like,
because they're
now I gotta let
strong
you
and-
find out if you love me, then find out if you respect my children,
Right.
understand my
You're not
children.
gonna harm my kids, and you know.
And then what about the
And then
parent?
she's scared of her children because they're getting older and they're a little stronger than
That's
she
true,
is.
too.
And,
Mentally stronger.
right, mentally
You know?
and physically, and she's
Right.
nervous because she doesn't have the help that she needs.
Yep.
Wow.
Or
And
the
then there's a
support.
child that's nonverbal.
Right.
So what if you're a single woman and you bring a guy home? Your daughter's nonverbal.
Right.
So we
You
have
don't
problems
know.
sometimes bringing
Right.
a man around a child that don't have
Yep.
special needs and can talk.
Exactly.
Imagine
Can
if this
you
young girl is
imagine?
nonverbal
Right. Or a young boy.
and can't tell you
Right.
that they're being touched, or a young boy.
That's
Right.
really restrictive to that parent in their life. They can't
Right.
do a lot of things because
Right.
of that.
So they end up closing out
Right.
to love, to socialness, to friends, to family, because they just feel like it's their burden alone, and they don't need the extra to come along with what they already
Right.
have to deal with.
Or passing that child on
Right.
to services, or another family member, you know, to grandma, to the aunt who feel they can do a better job.
Right.
You know, so
wow, that's crazy. We can talk about this all night.
Yeah, yeah.
So like when you see crimes and the first thing people are saying, oh, they have mental issues. A lot of people go, oh, that's always what people use as an excuse, and this kid has a. Do you really believe that that is the number one reason
Oh, yes.
why a lot of these kids are committing
Oh
crime?
yeah,
believe so,
I have
yes.
my
Or doing
best friend
things.
for like the last 9 years. She just one day woke up and became schizophrenic and was walking in the street naked, and from day and night. And I'm like, what the hell happened? You know, and it's sad, but it happens. And when
Right.
she's on her meds, she's okay. And when she's off her meds, she's a completely different person. Like I've seen her get tased by 6 cops and still not go down.
Wow.
And I'm like, you know, sweetest person you would have ever met in your whole life.
And that's what I mean when the education comes in. Cops that are educated about people's different disorders would not be so quick to tase someone like that because they're having an episode.
Right.
They have to be trained to kind of learn how to deal with these type of things.
well, it
You
helps if
think-
the person's mental health been documented.
Right.
Because as a cop coming in, you don't
Right,
know their
you
history.
don't know.
But
You know
a
what I
cop
mean?
coming into a person that's irate is not going to be thinking about their medical history. They're thinking about defending.
Right.
But if I call and say, you know what, my nephew, my uncle's acting up again.
She's not on her medication.
She's not on medication. You
Right.
gotta kind of, you know what kind of scenario
Right.
you're coming into.
But what if it's not a family
Diagnosed,
member?
right.
What if it's a street person saying this lady is acting irate and crazy and she just slapped me, or then
They
the
don't
cop is
know.
coming to the scene
don't
with that
know.
They don't
buildup.
know, yeah.
They don't know. But shouldn't there be certain signs they're trained to look for so that they can quickly assess that?
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
That's a tough one. You know, because what do those signs look like?
Right.
You know, I work for transit. I'm a train conductor. We cannot call the people on the train homeless.
Right.
We cannot. We got to call them less fortunate.
Right.
We got to call them everything but homeless, because if that homeless person swiped one Metro card, they're a paying customer.
Right.
I can't kick them off the train unless they're
Right.
doing something violent. They're not calling in.
Right.
But besides that, if they stink, smelling, they're not disturbing nobody, I can't kick
Exactly.
them off the train.
I mean,
that's
there's
why
been
y'all
so
don't
many
do
times.
nothing.
I mean, I've been on the train a couple times and I'm literally talking to myself. I'm
Yeah.
saying lines to myself. I don't even realize I'm loud. I'm sure a couple people like,
She crazy. She crazy.
She crazy.
let's move over here. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
a good point.
we really don't.
So it's pretty tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's really
It is
tough.
tough.
They really need to have that support system, and that's really tough. Wow.
But then there's some that don't want the help.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know what I mean? You have
That
people
are
that you have
denied.
people that feel more in danger in a shelter than they do sleeping on the street or the train.
Right.
That's so
The
true.
shelters can be dangerous. Shelters
Yes.
can be so many different
That's so
things.
true.
Yes.
From the other people that sleep in there, from the
Workers,
workers.
Yes,
from
Jeremy,
security.
it can catch
They'll
more
tell you like, man, I
diseases.
feel
Yeah.
safer out here in the street.
So
Right.
true.
Right.
Wow.
There's
It's
control
tough.
for them. Right.
That is
Yeah.
very interesting. I mean, this is an awesome topic to have, and I think it's something that we need to have more often, actually. People don't really want to focus on it because they feel like, well, if it doesn't apply to my child, it's not
Right.
important. But it really is
But the thing
important.
is too, the numbers of rising of children with
Right.
autism, special needs, has gone up so much. Like within the last 15 years, it's like it used to be what, 1 out of 100,000. Now it's like 1 out of 10.
It's bad.
That's crazy. 1 out of 10.
I think it's this world that's making us come out crazy.
I mean, we don't know if it's vaccination. We don't know if
what
it's
it
the
is,
food.
what
We
it
don't
is.
know,
Right.
you
I
know.
think it's all the above. I think it's the food, the
We don't know if it's the
vaccine,
chemtrails,
the
we don't know what's
coronavirus.
going
They're
on,
trying to
you
kill us.
know?
Like,
And I like cold light.
the doctors in the hospital, like I think they're
Yeah.
trying to
You know?
kill us for real, especially as Black race. But and speaking of Black race, it is Black History Month, guys. So, you know, every week we are bringing up someone, honoring someone, remembering someone, and tonight we are
Stevie
remembering the 4 little girls who died in the Alabama church back in 1963, September 15th. Addie Mae Collins and Carol Denise McNair, Carol Robertson, and Cynthia Wesley. 4 little young girls that were in the basement of the church and when it got blown up, of course, by some racists, as usual. But we are remembering them today.
Yes.
That I wrote a poem on that when I was in high school, and I wish I could find it. I really do, because it won out of all the high schools in the state, and it was in the paper.
We got a writer over here. We got a writer.
I love to write. I'm a writer first. I can write, but I can't find it. And when I saw this article this morning, I was like, I remember that. Yes, I remember. And it was a long poem too, but I remember that. So definitely paying homage to those young ladies. Their lives were taken away way too young.
Yes.
So
young.
very tragic. But Black History, guys. So you try to educate yourself. Well, you should do it every day anyway, but especially during our month, I try to learn someone new every single day. Not just the norm. We all know the Malcolm X and the Martin Luthers and the Rosa Parks, but learn about somebody you never ever heard of before. That's not as common every month. Every year for Black History Month. Try to challenge yourself to know your history, especially our Black history.
Real Black history.
Need to learn that.
Do your research.
Yes, do your research. I want to jump into our letter from a listener. Because she wrote us a letter. I always have to rewrite them because if I go on my phone, it messes up my live, and then I don't ever have time to print it. So anyway, but she wrote us a letter about her marriage situation with her children. So I want to read it and give her some advice. She says, I'm a 40-year-old mixed woman married with 3 kids to my high school sweetheart since I was 20. Our children are 8 and 12. The 12-year-olds are twins. She says, we have a beautiful home, great jobs, great kids, and an overall great family. The problem is our marriage. We have not been happy for about 10 years now. We don't sleep together most nights and haven't been intimate for a few years now since I learned he cheated. My friends keep telling me to get a divorce and move on with my life, which I have considered several times, but have not done because I'm afraid of how it will affect our children. Although our relationship is not good, our parenting and business relationship is great. My children adore their father. He's an awesome dad, and I just simply would not know what to do if it split up the dynamics of our family. She says, more than anything, I don't want my children growing up in a single parent household. I know the effects that can have on children, and most kids don't do well when coming from a single parent home. Where is she got?
How is she a single parent?
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
She says, I know this isn't the case for all, but I don't want to take that risk with mine, especially when 2 of our 3 kids are Black boys. I think it's important for fathers to be in the home raising their boys. I guess that's why she says she's single, because he's not in the home. He wouldn't be in the home. Okay. She says, therefore, if it means I have to be in this relationship until they're grown, then so be it. My husband feels the same way, so there's a mutual understanding between us. She says, my family and friends disagree with my decision, arguing that my view on single parent homes is incorrect and that my kids would be fine, and insisted that we're doing more damage to them by staying together.
Yes.
She says, I am now wondering if they have a point. Help me out.
Yes. I mean,
Go ahead, Steph.
if you're in your household with your parents and you see them not getting along, not sleeping in the same room, how can your parents they're not happy, so how can they be happy and give you 100% of them to you in that environment? It's just, you're just showing your kids the opposite. Just stay together for what? Comfortability. I mean, you're not a single parent. Sometimes you can be stronger apart.
I totally
You can
agree.
totally raise them together but apart.
Right.
And it'll be fine.
But the funny thing is, you'll be surprised how many people feel like that. They stay in marriages that they're not happy with because they say, oh, we got kids together and we don't want to affect their routine, or we don't want the kids to suffer or go. I'm like, do you not know kids are way smarter than we are?
Doing
Like,
more
they
damage.
see things like we think we're hiding stuff from them, and we're
Kids
really
like,
not.
we've been to y'all broke up.
Right.
What were you gonna?
What were you gonna tell us?
We knew already.
They think that
We've been tired of him.
right. They think the children are gonna act out now, or they're gonna just start doing all kinds of crazy stuff
I think
because
they're
mom
doing
and
more
dad.
damage than-
That's if you allow it. Again, you have to work together.
Kids, adults, change is always going to affect you in some type of way. You just got to deal with it and go through it and figure out what's the best balance. And, that's
And
it.
also, her friends don't have to really live with the consequences of her decision.
Right.
She needs to talk to the people that will have to live with it. Communicate with your children.
Kids.
This is where we at. This is where we might go. This is what it's going to be. She just said our parenting is great, our business is great. Follow in the footsteps.
Right.
If it's not
Do it
working
with the
nowhere else,
kids.
Exactly.
And that's
Keep
probably
pushing.
that's a good point.
Don't
because
show
a lot
your
of
kids
parents
are
don't think
loveless.
kids can handle that kind of
Right.
conversation.
you got to put it on them.
And they hide it from them, and I think that is the biggest mistake ever. Talk to your kids as if they are little adults. You would be surprised what they can retain and understand and
tell
be
you back
okay with.
and feedback.
Right, and give
You're
you
like,
I'm telling you, they have
And
some
you get to
serious
fix the
insight.
problem early. So if out of the 3 children, 1 child may need to see a psychologist, you find
Right.
that out early.
Right.
Don't wait till you're 19. Oh, I'm this way because you and dad broke
Right.
up and you showed
Right.
me.
you didn't love me. Yeah.
Right,
You know
like
what I
how
mean?
can you tell me about marriage and you and dad didn't even sleep together
Right,
for 10
exactly.
years? Like
you didn't have
it's
no
true.
affection, no love. So
It's
now
true.
they're in a
And that's
affectionless
another. You
or
want
loveless
to
marriage.
teach your kid how to be in a loving
You
relationship.
want to break
So
the pattern.
Bad out of all that, if one of her kids is a daughter, right? If your daughter's out there, she's left grown. Now she may think I can't go back home because I have to stick this out.
Right.
So I may be in an abusive marriage,
Right.
abusive relationship,
Right.
but I can't go back home because I
Right.
was taught to
Right.
stick this
Or
out.
he's
Parents
cheating on
stuck
me.
it out,
And
so
my mom
therefore
stayed with my
it
dad when
worked
he
for them,
cheated.
it
So
didn't
Better to
work for
come back
me.
to that
true.
little room upstairs or come back in the casket.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So we have to teach our children that you got to make you happy.
And
Absolutely.
it's
First and
okay to
foremost.
start over.
And it's okay to start
Right.
over.
At any point.
And if you guys are great parents, they're not gonna miss out on anything. If anything, they get double of both. You know,
Exactly.
see it that way. I got
Yeah,
2
yeah, yeah.
houses.
Right.
You know, I get
Yeah,
to
yeah.
buy 2 different cars.
Right.
Like I get
Yep.
2 gifts on Christmas. However you want to view it, but the kids are actually okay, especially when you talk to them, and then you don't change up their routine as much as possible. You know, 3 nights with mom, 3 nights with dad, and then we
Yep.
alternate the 7th.
Right.
However you
You
do
figure it out, right.
try to make it as normal. I'll pick
Just
them
tell
up
me what's
Monday,
going on at daddy crib.
Right,
Yeah.
That comes into
Let me know
play
what
too,
she
you
was
know?
wearing. Does she look
happens
prettier
when-
than mommy?
Yeah, when mommy moves on or daddy moves on.
Yeah, that's a different letter. That's a
But
different
they have to still be the same way. You gotta
Yep.
be mature.
Right.
Talk to your kids about it and move on with your life. Nobody should be stuck in any relationship just because of kids.
Stuck anywhere being unhappy
I have had
because of anything.
several arguments
My
with people
oldest son
about
is
that.
22. His mother's been married since probably he was about 9 or 10. We stopped dealing with each other. We're parents. Youngest son is 9. I encourage her to date, do what she got to do. My
Right.
job is to make sure she's happy because my son feels that happiness.
Right.
That's
So
right.
whatever you got to do, look, give me my son. You go out there and get you something.
Right.
What you got to do?
Because if you're happy, the kids are
Right.
Kid
happy.
is
It
happy.
trickles down.
That's
I'm
it.
the
And that's
same
my
way.
only goal is that my son
And
is
dads
happy.
are happy
Right.
when the kids are happy.
Right.
So
My son's
know.
father could care less who I date.
Right,
We
they don't
take
care.
care
As
of
long
my
as the kids
kids.
are happy, the guys
I
are
trust your judgment.
Right.
Right. So
You
I
know,
know
if
you're
I
not
was,
gonna
if I
bring
dealt with you at one point, slept with you, whatever have you, I'm trusting your judgment of who you're gonna have my child around. So I don't need to be, well, who's that dude? I
Right.
trust your judgment. Now, if something go wrong, I'm coming to you first.
Right,
Facts.
But if it's
exactly.
really severe, I'm going over there.
Right.
Of course, and then
But I trust your judgment. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I didn't deal with a fool. You wasn't a fool. You were stupid when we first met.
Right.
Stupid, let me go. But at the end of the day, I should trust your judgment as an adult.
And
You know what
most
I mean?
guys are quick to be okay with it. It's usually the females that aren't okay with it. The
I've seen
men,
both.
I've seen both.
I've seen both. But if you like, mostly the men are pretty much, they're cool with it from the very beginning. Women need time.
Yeah.
She needs time to adjust to
Or
that
they
woman
say
around
that
her
they're
child.
cool with it, but when they
Right.
get home, it's a whole different story. Like, oh, really?
Exactly. Right. You're interrogating that child.
They're like,
and, so how long he been seeing her? You ain't tell
So
me.
you guys have sleepover pajama nights and movie nights?
Yes,
You know,
I'm telling
so-
you, women are a different ball game. I don't care how
Men
much
do
we
it too.
front.
Men do it too. They do it too.
Different.
So where'd you get those new sneakers? Mommy's new friend bought them. Uncle Tom. You know.
I know, right?
I can't get caught up with it.
Right,
I'm so far into.
I don't
If
think
my son
men
comes
is
from
not
my
as
mother,
much.
my sister, his mother, I'm feeling my son's body to make sure he's not hurt.
Right.
So I'm there. I don't even mentally. I don't even go there. I'm like, look, do what you
Right,
got to
who
be happy.
cares?
Right.
I want someone to
Right.
make sure my son is good. You happy? Because you're not going back, mommy hurt.
Right.
So I don't want
Right.
you to come to me hurt.
Right. Right.
So I'm whatever mommy doing, you do. You have fun.
See, that's
Just don't kiss my
that's
son on
how
the lips.
A lot of guys.
I ain't kissing my son on the lips.
Women
no
are
more.
different. Even
I'm
me,
good.
I left my son's father. I moved on first. He was perfectly fine with it. I didn't want him from a can of paint. But when he got a girlfriend, I made his
Yeah.
life hell.
That's because nobody
Just
wants you until
because.
somebody wants
Right,
you.
and I still
You
didn't
ain't gonna
want
be
him.
happy.
It was
You didn't
just
want him, but
I
you
wanted
just
to
like,
inject myself and let her
I
know.
could do this.
Thank
so let me
you.
let you know who I am.
Thank you.
And
And
who
I
really
did.
runs this.
I did it for a while until I had to snap. I had to grow up. Like,
Right,
okay,
All right, let
you
me
know,
stop
I really
this
don't want this.
facade.
Let me stop. Let me stop. But
Better
he used to
than
be
this.
like,
Flexing your
he used to be like, no girls want to date me because you're crazy. They know you're crazy. I was
Flexing
like,
your muscle.
good. But I didn't want him, so
Right,
why
right.
would I be so miserable?
It's fun.
And he
It's
didn't
just-
do
it's
that to
fun.
me, right?
Right.
Just because I could.
Right.
And that's the problem. Most girls do it because they can.
It's true.
Because men don't want that drama. They don't want the girl using the kid and taking the kid away because they're fighting. So they just let the women do it and
Right.
have it. And it ain't the best thing to do either when you got another chick, who's not having it.
they trying to avoid that child support, so they like, baby, you do what you gotta
So
do.
she does whatever she
You want to
wants.
go clubbing this weekend? Thank God.
You want some slippers?
We going camping.
Hello, Stephanie. Exactly, we're
course.
here. We know
That's how you do
women.
it.
We
Right.
know women,
Right.
and guys be sleeping like, nah, she cool. She
Yeah, next thing
like
you know,
you.
got that letter.
She don't like me.
Next thing you know, you got that letter child support.
Yep.
Attention. That's my stepkid. That one even mine.
She has got an awesome point. Okay, so let's wrap up our advice for this woman. What should she do?
I think she should sit down with her children, or they should sit down as a family.
Yes.
And be as straightforward and possible to the children
Yep.
as they can.
Right,
Yep.
right.
You know what I mean? Hear how dad's feeling, hear how mom's feeling,
How the kids feel.
and express, the love that you still have for each other, but you're going in different directions.
Right.
So this is a decision y'all come to as a family. So nobody can say, well, you abandoned mommy or you abandoned dad. We all had this conversation.
Right. It was put in.
You
the
know what I
open.
mean?
That's
It's put in
right.
the open and the cards is out there.
No hidden.
And this is what it is. And then get the kids' feedback.
Right.
Because they want to be heard. They might not, you don't got to listen to them. But at least get their
Pretend,
feedback.
you
Right.
know?
They feel like they've been heard, their opinion
Right.
was valued.
Yes.
It
That's
can go a long
Yes.
way.
It absolutely
You know?
does. So what do you guys think about the part of her saying that single parents, their children don't turn out worse than parents with two-parent households?
Disagree.
Totally disagree.
110%
Totally
disagree.
disagree.
I disagree.
I totally I mean, for reasons we were just talking about before. A two-parent household is not always better,
Exactly.
especially when they're not on the same page.
Exactly.
When the kids can manipulate one parent against
Exactly.
the other.
Or you have one parent that's just there financial and not there emotionally,
Exactly.
Right.
physically,
when
so
one parent is the best friend and the other parent is a disciplinarian.
Well, I think you got to have good cop, bad cop.
You do
but you
have
gotta
to
be on the
have
same
it.
page.
But you got to,
Right.
right, at the end of the
Gotta be on the
day.
same
you got to
page.
meet at the same
Right.
thing. Like, look what they did. Okay, so we're gonna
He
play it
can't
this
be
way.
like, oh, I want to stay out till 12. I ain't gonna ask mom because I know she gonna say no. Let me go ask dad because I know he will.
Right.
And then he'll go to dad and dad. Oh yeah, sure, go
What
ahead,
did your
son.
mother say?
Right.
And then now mommy go because where's
Right.
my child?
Right.
Oh, I told him
Oh, I
he go.
forgot
You
to tell
told him
him that.
what? And now we're
Right.
fighting and arguing.
He already know. I told him 10. You going to tell him 12?
Right.
He's playing us both.
He's playing y'all.
Right.
So you got to be able to communicate. Like, what? What
Yep.
time you want to come in? 12. Let me talk to your mother about that. Like,
Hold
you
on a
know.
second. Right,
Give me a
right.
minute. What your mother say? Like,
Right.
Start playing them back. But these kids are smart. They know.
I'm telling you, I was the wild one. My son raised me, so I was the wild one, and he is like excellent. Like no
Really?
issues. I don't have no. Like,
and calm.
I'm telling you,
That is
so,
a
single
blessing.
parent.
Love it, girl. You better
So,
love it.
I
You
love
better.
it.
He rather put a
One and
computer together
only.
than run the
What?
streets.
Yes, he'll be in the
Take it
house
apart,
like,
put it
oh,
together.
come over, let's do this
Ah, that was
computer.
that one. Only child.
See,
Goody two shoes. To this day, I kid you not. To this day, as a grown man, I met someone who knew him, and they were like, "Oh, I know him. We went to school together." They was like, "Oh, he was always quiet. He was a good kid." Like everybody said the same thing.
Right.
He was a good kid. He was quiet. He was like, "Dad, you didn't do nothing." Like, did you ever get into a fight? You
like,
a punk?
come on.
So I wanted to grow up and
Like,
be a
he said it. He
librarian.
said it. He said it.
Like, did you
Come
ever
on,
steal
yeah.
candy? Did you do
Yeah.
anything? Like,
That's- I'm telling
I
you.
can't even get advice from his mom because she's just like, I didn't deal with that.
Right.
He was a good boy.
I'm telling you, everyone's
I'd be like,
like,
get out of
he's
here.
great, and I'm like, my child.
That's a blessing.
Okay, thank
That's
you. Lord.
rare,
That's why I stopped.
and that's
at
a
one.
blessing.
Look, if y'all get pulled over and the cops
Seriously.
run his license, y'all good. Then you
Like,
gotta
he was
worry- they got to worry
driving.
about you. They got
Right,
like, you all right, my man, but
I'll
you.
be like, oh man.
You step out the car for a minute.
Like, damn it, son. Bail me out. You know where the money is in the house.
Right. Growing up in a single parent, I actually prefer it. Like with my oldest son, his dad is really just not a great dad. So it's like, I thank God that he was a deadbeat dad.
Me too.
It's funny to say that, but
Some
I do.
parents are better away.
There's nothing you
Right.
should have taught
There was
him.
nothing you could teach him.
That would've been good
I
for
didn't
him.
want him to be anything like you. So although it might have hurt him
Sound
not
like a baby
having
father
his
to me.
dad, seriously,
Right.
it was was like, I had nobody to argue with.
Right.
It was what I said.
All your
that
choices,
goes.
all your
Everything was
decisions.
right. It was all my instilling into him and my upbringing. Like I didn't want no influence from that.
Right.
So
Right.
as he got older, I was just like, I thank God he was a deadbeat.
That's how I
Seriously, I don't think two parents are better. Like you said, I have a friend who has her kid has both parents, her and the father. They weren't together, but they co-parent great.
Right.
Okay.
They had no drama, and even when they didn't speak, the kids didn't know. They would send notes in the book bag to each other because they weren't speaking.
Right,
but
right,
the kids
right.
had no clue.
Had no idea.
Right.
So they always kept it cordial and best friends. And now one kid is like not even finishing school, and he's getting into trouble, and the other one is like, leaving whenever they want to leave. Like, so she's having trouble, and she makes me mad because when she vents about it, she takes shots like, I don't know what's wrong with my kids. They got two parents, and this is what they're doing. They didn't come from a single parent, and I'm just like, I'm a single parent, and my son's in college, and he's out of trouble, and he's doing well.
Right.
So I don't want to say that to her to hurt her feelings, but I'm like, you're hurting mine
Right.
by insinuating that because your kid didn't come from a one-parent household, they should be great.
Right.
So the people really do believe that. They think like
Yeah,
that.
that's sad. Some
That's
people
a
She
do
really
that.
feels
That's what
like-
we're conditioned to believe. That's what we see on TV.
But
You never see a show with a single mom. What big show do you see out there from when we were younger with a single mom doing it?
It only happened
No,
late.
only
Good
Mr.
time.
Drummond.
Yeah.
Only
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
I'm
Drummond.
trying to think like, wait.
Only Mr. Drummond got away with that.
Oh.
It happened late once James died on Good Times. Once he didn't like his roles and the
It was a wrap.
image,
That's what
they
happened.
fired him, and then Florida became a
She
single
became
parent.
a single parent.
That's
Yep.
true.
They fired him and wrote him off.
Wow, but you're right.
Right.
They usually try to show us the two-parent households. People do have that stigma, like they really believe
condition.
they came from a two-parent household, so
Right.
they had it easy. Whereas a kid that had a single mom, they feel like he was in
criminal,
poverty.
she's a
He's more
criminal,
prone to be a
she's-
criminal.
right.
Right, it's true. His mom has to work a lot, so she's not
Never
there.
home, doesn't know what's going on.
So,
with the
and that's
kid.
not true.
It's not
Nah.
true.
It's not. It's
It's
really
the ones that are never around. We got trackers. We know where you
Yep.
are.
That's my point. I wasn't
Exactly.
always there 24/7. I had to
Right.
go to work. My kid had to
Right.
be home after school, feeding himself.
Latchkey kid.
Right, but
Right.
he was well taken care of, and I raised him to be mature so that he can stay home by himself at 8 if I needed him to go, if I had to
Right.
run out
Right,
for an
right.
hour or so.
Right.
And I had to make my kids more
That's why
mature.
he feared you. Like, you open this door for anybody.
That's right.
I'm gonna
You
break
like
your
living
neck.
here?
And I would
You
test
like
him
all these
sometimes.
things you have?
Instilled in
That's
him.
right.
Yeah,
And I would
keep them
test
out
him.
at the door.
got to.
Yeah, of
And then
course.
if they tell me he came to that door, I'll
Wear him
call.
out.
What did I tell
Didn't
you?
I tell
Like,
you? How do you know?
now you're in trouble. I would be in his behind if you broke my rules.
Parenting is so
You like all
different
this
now.
stuff
It
here?
really is.
Parenting is
And
so
I got
different.
that from my parents. I was
Right.
scared of my parents.
Right.
I wouldn't talk back. Even if I didn't do it, I was scared to speak up. Because if you said I'm in trouble, I'm not defending okay, I'm in trouble.
That's
Like,
It was me.
right. You're right. My parent, if something went missing and everybody's like, I didn't do it, we're all punished.
Oh,
Right.
of course. Yeah.
That way I got the right one. We're all getting a whooping.
Somebody-
That way I
You
got
knew
the
about
right
it.
one.
You watched, you
Somebody
heard it,
get
you
it.
didn't say nothing.
Right. And I used to be mad because it was never me. It was always my brothers.
Like, I was cooking.
But I'm punishment because of you little rugrats,
Right.
you know?
Get it
but
from them for snitching.
Yep.
Exactly.
Guilty by association. That's your brother.
No, I raised my little one to snitch against my older one, so he couldn't get away with nothing.
Oh,
Because
you
I
brought
would
it
threaten the
to
little
the
one.
little
Bloody.
Yep.
Yep.
I'd be like, if he has some girl in here and you don't tell me, your butt is mine. Oh, he
Like,
ain't
mom,
trying
there
to
was
get in
two
trouble.
girls, went to the
Yep.
bathroom, and she came back downstairs, but they didn't go in the room. They didn't.
Yeah.
They ain't
As
going
soon as
around.
somebody, Ma, I don't know if you know, but Messiah just left and went to the store. He went outside.
He said he's coming back, mom. I don't know.
Yep, he told
Fear
me
of God.
everything. Within 2 minutes, I'm calling my son. Where you at? I just walked
door,
out
get
the
him
door.
a
Right,
Who
right.
told you to do that? Get back in there. And then he in there threatening his brother. And I told you not to say nothing. And then if you do that, if you retaliate, then I'm getting on you. So like I had a
No
system.
win situation.
Right. It's a
But it was
no-win-win.
draining though. People say that's a lot to do. It is.
But it worked.
It is,
And it
but
worked.
it's worth it
Mm-hmm.
because you're not gonna gun down my black kid. You're not gonna leave him back.
know what's
You're
going
not
on.
going to
Yep.
put him in jail because he
Amen.
he looks like someone. That was, I think, the biggest problem with the Central Park Five boys that their
Uh-huh.
parents weren't educated enough to know
Right.
the laws,
Mm-hmm.
and they were working or they were single parents and they weren't there, and you know that's how that happened to them. Parents gotta stay in touch with these kids.
Yep.
They didn't know where their kids were at. Like a lot of things, again, it kind of comes back to the parents. If your kid wasn't outside, we gotta come in when the street lights came on. Where you wouldn't have been in Central Park in the dark.
But that was back then.
But
too.
that was back then. Like
was
now,
back
you
then.
know,
Streetlights,
everybody
we
is.
gotta go inside.
Everybody's to themselves. Before it was you saw
Right.
your aunt's cousin outside.
Right.
Oh, I gotta go. She saw me. Get out.
And that, right, we
Now it's not
parented
like that
each
anymore.
other's kids.
It's not like that anymore.
You're
Don't
right.
talk to my kid. Don't
Yep.
say
a
anything
village.
to my kid.
Yep,
That's my
it takes
kid.
a village. If I
Right.
see my neighbor's kid outside and they do
Right.
something not
Now-
right, I can
Right.
check that
Now-
Said
child.
something to you?
Yeah.
Take me to
Yep.
Take me to the parent.
What
I
you
want to
say
fight.
to my kid?
Yeah, don't
well,
talk
ma'am,
to
he
my
was
child.
setting the car on fire. I don't give a damn. You
Yeah,
don't talk to
Did he
my
use a lighter or
kid.
did he use a match?
Right.
I told him to use a lighter.
I told him to use the damn lighter.
If it was a match, he dead wrong.
We
Right.
really
Like,
live
really?
in a different
Different
world.
time.
Wow. Well, this has been a great talk. So we got some news and gossip coming up next, guys. We try to save our kids in here tonight. It's all about the children
child left
tonight.
behind.
No child needs to be left behind. It does
right.
take a village.
All child
And I'm
left
still
Cousins,
that
yeah.
same parent. I am going to check your child when they're doing something wrong, praise them when they're doing something good,
Right.
show them encouragement, tell them they're beautiful, even if you're not doing it.
Right.
I work with kids
Just
all
don't
day.
give them a ribbon if they come in 28th place.
Right.
Please, I'm not.
No participation trophy.
Hey, 28
1, 2,
count.
and 3. 1, 2, and 3. First, second, and
Participation
third.
trophies is killing
That's
kids.
it.
You
Kids are
can't
too
crush their
sensitive.
hearts. You got
No.
Second place
Outta
and then but the
here.
first place loser.
That's it.
That's true. These kids
That's
are
right.
too sensitive these days.
I came in 532. Look at my. No.
You gonna sit down somewhere, Leroy.
Yeah, get out of here.
532
And it was
my
only 317 people.
Yeah, right.
You can't
Like,
get
no,
500.
get out of here. No.
You gotta support the kids.
Yeah, first,
It's
second, and
okay,
third.
Johnny. It's okay. You'll get them next time. Like, no, you suck, Booth. Go sit
Yeah,
down.
go practice
Go
harder.
quit.
That's it.
Go-
Maybe you should try another sport.
Right. Go. It's okay to quit. Go.
Next
go
week he'll be on fries. That's when the big bucks start rolling in.
I can't with y'all. We are gonna take a quick break, guys. We got our news and gossip coming up next. This is Talking Out Radio. Don't move.
I love how they syndicate music worldwide. I'll be honest, no lie, like beast to a honey if you just let me fly. If you don't let me fly, I'm just gonna keep coming back till you realize. Hello, I'm a beast in the skies. I'm young and I'm able. I'm fresh and so stable. My cards on the table, that world first fly. Wonder what's up with you. It's been a while since I've been up in the cup with you. I ain't done my time, if I see my style, and they ain't the rubbish of Barbados. I'm loving you. Doing so hard, I'm just trying to keep up with you. Jamaica with the quad, turn up the team. You know it's big ups to ya. Gonna get your block poppin', your city rockin'. If you're rolling with me, then you know what I mean. Take me away, away, away. I wish I could stay all day. We wild wildness. I run it like a beast, but a pretty bop. Ain't a slow release, I'ma get it got. Houston to Detroit, they cater to the Bay. Maybe to the Harlem, I don't think I'm not coming to your city block. Bump loud, don't ever see me stop. Bass pound, shake ground from that drizzy drop. I like that sound from that busy box. Just know I'm round when that beat knock ya. And if you ain't feeling the youngin', don't front and be stuntin', just say you not. It's hard to be hated when your status change, man. We spreading like paper clouds. I bop on the daily, no blessings. I wait me, no time to be faking nah. So bop with me, baby. I promise, I slay it. I promise, let me say it now. Yeah. Your city rockin'. If you're rolling with me, then you know what I mean. Take me away, away, away. I wish I could stay all day. We wild wildin' this thing. Yeah, we wild wildin' this thing. We wild wildin' this. My lyrics take a taser, middle shot. My chop as a razor, middle chop. Punning heavy labor, never stop. On my best behavior, cream a prop. Make the city box, DC to Mississippi rock. St. Luke, yeah, you take it to the top. Long Beach to Queens, y'all what I mean? Me and my team will make the city rock. Get the inner city hot. Ain't got no time for beef, petty stop. Be on my grind like it's about to drop. Though all the time, I know it's really not. It's about these routes that I love a lot. If love's a crime, gonna call the cops. I'm in my prime, so be on the watch. Be in your town, be the day block. Gonna get like boom poppin', your city rockin'. If you're rolling with me, then you know what I mean. Take me away, away, away. I wish I could stay all day. We wild wildin' this thing poppin', your city rockin'. If you're rolling with me, then you know what I mean. Take me away, away, away. I wish I could stay all day. Stay. We were one this thing. We were one this thing. Yeah. We were one this thing. We were one this thing.
Was that we back? Okay.
It was live. We weren't talking about
the mics are on, but we're not live.
Just Trump,
Just Trump.
The words you just heard are the words of Stephanie Cologne
That's right.
and Grace the Stallion.
I hate Trump.
Jermaine Smith has nothing to do with
Facts.
this.
I concur.
45 if you
Jermaine,
hear
that's
this, I
not
have
what you
nothing to do with
said.
it.
You know
I
what?
totally
You're
concur.
gonna end up dead in a crash or
Right.
a heart attack or pneumonia. Watch. Those are the 3 ways they kill us.
They come hard for our black
I'm
men,
telling you.
boy.
It's always a crash to go skiing or somewhere we know we're not supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
Once
So we
again,
are
the words
back,
that you
y'all.
just heard are from Stephanie
We
Cologne.
having all these side conversations.
I love the government.
So you was busted saying Trump. What?
I love the
I'll actually be
government.
45.
No, I don't. You guys are still tuning in to talk it out.
I really want to see 45.
He
Years
said
old.
he want to see 45. I
I love the
can't.
number 45.
I can't. If you guys want to call in and chat it up with us before we get out of here, 347-708-0216. I've been talking it out all night with Stephanie and Mr. Jermaine Smith on their film, The Needs, guys. Make sure you check it out on Amazon. Just from our conversation, I know it's a dope movie, so I can't wait to go home and watch it. I'm probably going to watch it tomorrow.
Thank you. Please
While
leave us
I
a
get
rating
my
and a
hair
review.
done.
Yes,
I
and
will.
ratings.
I am
Leave a
big on giving
comment.
ratings and reviews,
Be like,
y'all.
I know y'all.
That's right. I'm like, to my peoples, you know what I'm saying? They did it right, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get real hood.
Do it.
I'm going to let all the Harlem come out.
Bring it,
Like, so
bring
you
it.
parents, you know what I'm saying? Check it out.
Check
you know
your
what I'm saying?
kids, y'all.
String them little bastards up. I think that's really going to be a dope movie. I hope you continue to do what you're doing, because these messages and these types of films is what we need. We don't need to always see the ratchet half naked, you know, all kinds of craziness, violence.
It doesn't hurt.
It
you
doesn't,
know,
but we need to have a balance, and we need more positivity, especially right now.
Yes.
We got a lot going on,
Yes.
which brings us to our news and gossip, y'all. It's so much craziness going on in the world. So this coronavirus. So many people have so many different things about this. Yeah, you laugh, right?
Laugh about it.
Like,
'Cause she drink Coors Light.
Is this just like another thing that they're putting out there to scare everybody?
Population
'cause
control,
every year
man.
it's something.
Population control.
Right. Every year. I mean, we gotta be afraid of anthrax, and we gotta be
Legionnaires. Then it was Ebola. Then
Right, you got
it's always right before an election or something. There's an outbreak
What
or
was
something.
killer mosquitoes?
Right,
What was
right,
that
right.
like?
But like a week before, not even a week, like maybe 4 days before the coronavirus became mainstream, China, in Little China over there in Manhattan, the whole Chinese museum burned up with nothing saved, and it was like their history of how they immigrated here and.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Like
I know they're
3 or 4
pissed.
days before
That's
coronavirus.
real coincidental, ain't
just
it?
saying.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, how did that fire start?
I don't know.
The views
This
of Stephanie
corona.
Cologne and Grace the Stallion out there, they don't. They're not done Access Radio
take
or
it.
Jermaine Smith.
I know, right? So now they're saying that they had one in California that they had in the hospital detained, one case, and they accidentally released this person
Accidentally.
with the virus. How do you do that?
But how you as a patient go, all right, I'm gonna leave.
How you sign out a person who should have been quarantined for
That's
having the
crazy.
virus? We got one in the United States so far.
That's crazy.
China can contain how many millions? How many they said?
Overpopulated.
Thousands?
Yeah.
That they have contained,
Uh-huh.
and we
Control
can't
one.
control one and without losing them.
Out of a hospital.
And you can't find them, and you don't know
Nope.
where they at now.
Now he's
So you
missing.
ain't get no patient information, no
Nothing.
insurance, no nothing in California. That's how we do.
I need to
They
go
had
there when I'm
Obamacare.
sick.
They had Obamacare.
They
No,
must
it's
have
Trump
Canada
care.
care.
It's Trump
It's
care now. It's
right.
Trump care.
Right.
Obamacare. Like,
Gone.
no. This is ridiculous.
Disappeared.
So
That's
now,
crazy.
then you have all the people on the boat that's stuck on the boat. What's going on? You could not tell me I'm stuck on a boat for some 30
Right.
days, quarantined into this tiny, claustrophobic ass
No,
room.
it's not
There must
happening.
not be nobody black on that
Oh,
boat.
it's
No,
going
it's
down.
not. It's a whole bunch of
It's about to
European.
be a
It was a
Titanic.
European,
Man, a black girl getting
Italian.
that water for her head. So something gotta give.
He said no black girl gonna get it
Start
down.
this motor.
Shit, I'm pulling that wig right on
We tying them all together and we making
Right,
a
bring that
wrap.
coronavirus
We're
to
gonna
me.
be holding on to it.
I got my hair
That's
done.
right. Bump that. I have my bag. I'm
Like,
gonna take
I'm
mine off, put it right in the bag.
That's right.
Hold that for later, honey. We
Like,
saving
full of
that.
stocking
I clean it
caps.
later. I clean it later.
And me still
Good. The
breathe.
salt water's
That's
good. The
right.
salt water's good.
We
for it.
saving that here, but this
By the way,
virus.
my name Aquanisha, which means water on the knees. I can find my way to the shore. I'm good.
I just follow the North Star. I got this.
Y'all
Ain't no virus keep me on no boat.
For real, like this virus is really out of control.
Yeah, it is.
And so some people are like, oh, they're not gonna scare me and make me think. You know, I'm like, okay, you don't have to be scared.
Well,
But just
this
be-
world is built around fear.
Right.
Fear of disease, war. You know, it helps the economy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're so afraid of coronavirus. We getting gunned down everywhere we go. and
Exactly.
people can't drive and planes dropping out the sky. Like, y'all
Exactly.
worried about the coronavirus.
Exactly.
You
Right.
better worry about dying from a corona.
Yeah, you better worry my number don't come out.
Yeah.
I played 5 straight.
wrap.
Believe
It's a
it.
wrap.
Yeah.
I played 5 straight.
It's a wrap.
Hey,
Accommodated.
you win. Don't forget the little people.
You know what I mean?
Slide me something real quick, brother.
But the fear controls us. You know, we
It does.
keep the people in fear.
And that's how they
us,
control
You know what I mean?
us.
So if you got a new disease coming out, we got
Every year.
We got to create a vaccine
year.
for it. You know, there's gonna be there's a cure for cancer, but
Of
there's
course
there's no
is.
money in the
There's
cure.
Right. Same thing with AIDS.
course. There's a
why
cure
would
for
they give us a
everything.
cure? It's gonna mess up their pocket.
There's a cure for everything.
Let us just
Money
keep
in the cure.
dying. You know, we'll just keep medicating it. Make you pay hundreds and thousands for this medication.
soothe something that's
sell
never-
your whole soul for this medication, and
Yep.
you got a remedy sitting right there.
Natural.
Right.
No cure and a remedy.
And if you got
no
enough money, you can get it. But if not, be like the rest of the population and just die.
Right.
That's just sad. So anyway, coronavirus. All right. So Nicki Minaj's brother, guys,
Oh, God.
a few weeks ago,
Here we go.
he was sentenced to what,
25, I think,
25 years?
Yeah.
Oh my God, for
Yep.
raping his stepdaughter.
11-year-old or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, what bothers me is when people know that their relative is like that and still support them. So like I was a big fan of Nicki Minaj until you were paying for his lawyer and trying to speak on his behalf and get him off for something like that.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, paying for his lawyer doesn't bother me so much. You know how family is. No matter if the murderer or the rapist, they're gonna come together and try to help you legally. But speaking out on his behalf and trying to
Get him off.
get him off of something he clearly is guilty of doing,
Right.
that's just ridiculous.
It's wrong. I'm
I
not
think-
supporting you in any
I don't think she should
any
use her platform
form.
for that. I think she should have just helped with his legal fees and just took a step back from that. Being that you're
so you
in the
think she should have
limelight.
helped him with the legal fees?
I
believe
think,
so,
I mean,
family-wise.
family-wise. You
Wow.
know, she's the one
As a
probably
family
the
member,
most.
I would say, you know what? Let me try to help you with your legal fees to get you
But
as less time as possible,
Right.
and get you some help.
However,
You know what I mean? If you're guilty of it and you're flat out guilty, because she
Right.
maybe told her, "I didn't do this." So that being her brother, she might have just took his word for his word.
right.
This is my brother saying he didn't do
Maybe.
this.
Right, but
You know what I
at
mean?
Like I understand some adults
But if she
lying,
did know it,
but a
know it.
12-year-old little girl lying and giving details like that, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna sit there and be like my brother is telling the truth and not believe this child. If it was another female, like the Kobe situation, get out of here. Like, girl, he didn't rape you. You know, go sit down somewhere. And I'm not even his relative, and I don't believe that.
Right.
But when it's a child, and she's telling what child would traumatize?
But then it goes back to the parents. You don't know what that parent. We don't know the background story. We
Could be
really
like Michael
don't.
Jackson.
So you
It
think
could be that's
it
Nicki
has
Minaj's.
happened.
That's Nicki Minaj's brother. We
we can
They don't
set
want to
him out. We
They
can
don't
get
want to
him.
settle out of court.
You don't know.
He might have
You
did
got to
it.
find out the whole
That's a good
backgrounds of
point.
everything before you just go and point. That's the problem with our culture. Seriously, with
Mm-hmm.
Black and Spanish culture, we're always pointing the finger. Do the research. Find out what
that's
is
my
really
point.
what's going on.
There's
what it
you
is.
could have found out
Right.
There are
before.
scenarios.
They are scenarios.
Maybe they
It
didn't want to
sounds
settle out of
crazy.
court.
Right.
So you don't want to settle out of court. We're going to take you to court.
Now we're gonna make this big thing, make it bigger.
Some of R. Kelly's accusers settled out of court.
Of course. You
Some
know?
didn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some of Michael Jackson accusers
Settled out of court. Some of them got found that they were guilty of doing this to other celebrities as well. That
Right.
their parents were
So,
putting
but
their
if he
children
did
up
that,
to
then,
do
you know,
it. They were 9 years old.
It's
The
bad.
two little brother
But
and sisters.
Was
Have
Nicki
cancer.
famous when he was doing this as a girl?
We don't know. See what I'm saying? Everybody's ready to be like he's a rapist, she's supporting, but nobody knows.
What time?
Right, like
What
that's what I
time
want to know.
frame,
Like, if
everything.
you knew, girl,
Right.
and you're supporting
You part
that,
of the
I am
problem.
not for
Right.
that.
Part
at
of the
all.
problem, yeah.
Like it's never
Right, you're
okay to do that to a
enabling.
child.
You're
Facts.
being a deniable
Right.
enabler. Right.
Like totally.
There's
I'm not.
you're
I'm
sick.
gonna pray for you.
Right.
I'll pay for you to get help, but I'm not paying for you to get off.
I'm not
I don't
saying
even know if he did. I don't even know about the praying part.
If he
You know,
did it-
my grandma used to say, "You ain't got to speak bad about people. You ain't got to speak good about them either."
right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I don't know about that
Just
praying
leave
part.
them
He-
lie
like,
where they are.
If he did that, he has a problem that
he
needs to
has-
be
he
fixed.
does.
Right.
He needs to pay the penalty for that.
That's
Right.
my point. He
Right.
absolutely does. I
To
don't
the
care
fullest
family
extent.
or not.
Right.
It could be my child. I'm hurting
He
myself.
could be the president, Barack Obama's son. I'm sorry. If you're wrong,
You
it's
got it.
wrong,
That's
and
right.
it's just what it is.
Absolutely. So yeah, I don't know. People have mixed feelings about what she did and how she helped, and you know, people are bashing her
Well, you
about
should
it.
help family if you can.
Even Meek
If you
Mills
didn't know.
went on her
Right.
about it. They were going back and forth. I mean,
Right. But
let's
before you
graduate.
make a quick, like, oh my God, I'm not supporting, find out.
Right.
You
But
know what
Meek
I'm saying?
says that
Find
she
out.
knew. Meek, he was with her for some years.
Right.
He
Right.
said she
I'm pretty
knew.
sure they had some conversations.
Right.
about it.
This is all like hearsay. You got to find out the
Right.
background of the mother, the person accused, and the child. Everybody
Right.
else is irrelevant.
Right.
It's only the accused.
Yep.
And the mother of that child.
Right.
The parents of that child.
And then you can
or the
usually tell
guardians.
if a kid is being coerced and coached to say certain things, but especially experts when they talk to the kids and
Right.
lawyers, they know what to
And
ask.
sometimes there's
to
some
figure
kids
it
that are
out.
some great natural actors.
Whew,
man.
Jesus,
I'm
Lord.
telling
That's
you.
a lot of work.
Gary Coleman.
I'm telling you.
You gotta really be molding your child to be a liar.
I'm telling you, there's some people that do this.
That's
This is what they do.
when I read what they said he did to her, I was
Right.
just like, I don't see no 11-year-old or no mother, a real mother really,
Right.
putting her child.
Right,
to
like
lie
how do you
about
not
something
know?
like
But how do
that.
you not notice your child go through some trauma like that? They
That
change in
too.
behavior.
But you'd be surprised.
Right.
You'd be surprised. I dated a guy who is now currently in jail, and I was with him for 3 months, and I made the connection that he was doing something to his baby mother's daughter.
Right.
The baby mother didn't believe me. I told her my suspicions, like the way they interact, they
Right,
text
right.
each other. She was 16 at the time.
Right. Right.
But I'm like, I thought maybe at first she liked him. She had a crush on him as being a little
Gotcha.
fast girl.
Right.
But it didn't sit right with me. Like, why are you lying to her
Because
mother?
he
for
wasn't
her? He would do things to
reciprocating
her,
the-
pick her up.
he
give her
wasn't
money.
putting that line.
Right, and I'm like, you guys are not together anymore. You never were married.
Right, right.
So why are you still in contact with her daughter, her teenage daughter, in that way? It didn't.
didn't
Red
work.
flags
Right.
went everywhere.
Right.
And I would talk to her mother about it. Like, I'm not hating. She used to tell me I was being jealous of the relationship.
Right, right.
No, I'm not. But I know
And
the
it came to
signs.
pass.
Right.
And
Right.
then we broke up. And I kid you not,
came
a
out.
year later, she finally told when she was 17. He was doing it since she was 5 years old.
That's crazy.
So many people said, how did the mother not know? They
Right.
were together for 7 years. They got 2 kids together. That was her oldest daughter. That wasn't his. But he met her when the daughter was 5.
Right.
You was with this man for 7 years in your household doing this to your daughter. And then when you talk to other people, one of the friends said, oh, he now recalls there was a time where the daughter was 10 years old and she was wearing diapers. That was a sign. He was like, she was 10 years old and she was potty trained.
Right.
But out of nowhere, your daughter is wetting herself and she's 10 years old.
Right, so as a
That was a
mother,
sign. He said we
you
were in a
know.
restaurant one day and they had to go to the bathroom to change her and she was 10. He said he thought it was weird.
Right.
But he wasn't going to question it. He's
Right.
like, now that I think back.
But the mom
Shit.
never.
That
But
could've
this
been
is like,
fine.
why didn't the mother take her? Well, there has to be a
Thank
bladder
you.
problem. There's something wrong. Maybe she has to
Right.
get a
Take her
retract.
to the doctor.
Take her to
Figure
the
it
doctor.
out.
Right there,
Right.
they would have been like,
But black
Something's
people are
wrong.
ashamed and embarrassed. My 10-year-old's peeing on themselves. I'm not
Right,
taking her to
right,
the
right.
doctor for that. Just trying to
Yeah.
fix
But then
it.
I'd rather have diapers at 10 years old
Right.
and then walk you to the bathroom and
Right.
change you and excuse myself from the table and tell
Right.
everybody I got to change my 10
So people are like, how did you not see the signs?
Right,
right.
He did this to your child for 7+ years. Even after y'all broke up, he's still doing it.
Right.
Wow.
She
Yeah.
was 17 when he
Put him under
finally
the
did it
jail.
again and she couldn't take it no more and she told him.
Wow, that's
Put him
horrible.
under the jail.
Yeah, he's got to go.
And I knew in 3 months that something was off and I spoke about it. Nobody believed me.
Right.
And his family supported him. Nobody believed me. They
Right,
thought
right.
that I was the one that got him put in jail. Like, no, I can't concoct the whole story, And it was a
wasn't
year
around.
Bit of
later.
an actor he's been in front of
Yep.
his family, friends,
Yep.
everyone.
A
so
year later, it was all over the news, and my mouth just dropped.
It just takes that one person you can't fool,
Yep.
and they see that mask fall off.
Now he's serving 10 years currently.
That.
Yeah,
On
that's
his
a light-
3rd year of 10 years.
That's a light sentence.
But she finally spoke up.
Right.
Because and people say, well, why didn't the girl been tell? And
It's an emotional,
It's really hard.
It's a control,
Right.
an emotional thing that.
Right. This is
you're
somebody my
embarrassed.
mother is with.
Right.
How do I say this to my mother? How she
Yep.
gonna
You're
take
already a
it?
Not gonna
teenager.
end
You
well.
would think my mother should have picked up on it
Right,
by
you're
now.
already a
Maybe she
teenager
doesn't
going
care.
through your own
Right, right.
stuff.
Right. And then I think she got to the age where she was milking it. Because the text that I used to see,
He was
she
buying
was asking
things.
for money,
She was
pick
making
me
it
up,
towards her
tell my
advantage.
mom I'm with you, and she
Right.
really wasn't. And he
Right.
would do it. And I used to be
Right.
like, what man does this for
Right.
somebody else's child that's not
That's
his,
crazy.
and or even it was his? Why would you do that?
Right.
And he's like, oh, she sees him like a father. That's not a father-daughter relationship
No.
to me. A
Right.
father cares about their child and want to know where they're at and respects the mother. And
Right.
so it never sat right with me, and that's what it was. So it's like sometimes parents don't know,
Right.
and it's right under their nose. And I was like, how she don't
Or
know
do
that?
know and don't want to know.
Right.
That too. She
You know?
because I'm like, you had to have known something was different in your daughter.
Right.
Wedding herself, that was the biggest sign. And that's
She
the
might have
signs that I heard.
sacrificed
of.
what her daughter was going through to keep that man and them 2 kids.
Right.
To keep that whole
Wow.
thing going.
Maybe a financial thing. Maybe
You know,
an
well,
emotional
shit,
thing.
I may never
maybe
get another good man.
Right.
This is the last
Anything it could
one.
be,
That's
right.
true.
So I'm going
Right.
to let you do this.
Just gonna
so
close
we can
my
maintain
eyes
that.
And
to
act
it.
like it's not happening.
Right.
Turn over, look at the wall.
Right.
That's sad.
You know,
Could be a
so
lot of
hopefully that's
scenarios.
not the case. But hopefully
Yeah, hopefully
we do this
not.
time.
But she
Yeah.
took care of it
More.
the minute her daughter came clean. She was on it,
Right.
like white on rice. But got
that's
him
good.
locked up just like that. So
That's
that's
good.
why I felt like maybe she really didn't know or just didn't make the connection.
Right, didn't
but
pick it up.
Right.
yeah, to each his own. But definitely, if you know something like that, guys, speak up. Don't. That's just totally wrong. Don't condone that kind of crap.
Well, guys
I
need
ain't
to
with
check their
it.
friends too.
Yeah, guys
Yeah.
too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you sitting around and you got a friend that don't take care of his kids, or you a friend
Yep.
that's molesting or raping someone,
Right.
guys need to step up and put that on
Yes.
your friend.
Right.
Yes,
Because as a
definitely.
male,
Call
sometimes
them out.
we tend to look past stuff and blind eyes
That's
to
true.
it.
Right.
You
And
see, he
women
likes
need to
young
do it too.
girls all the time.
Right.
Y'all don't say nothing. Like, oh,
You gotta
okay.
call him out on it.
It's true.
You got to call him out on it. He's gonna respect you, stop it, or y'all don't deal with each other.
Y'all
but you
don't
gotta
deal
call
with
him
each
out.
other.
Right.
Absolutely,
because
you
you go
can't
down
cover
guilty
up.
by association.
Exactly.
He
Oh,
did this,
definitely.
and what's his name was right in the
And
other
you
room.
knew about it.
Exactly.
You sitting there eating 4 chicken wings cut up.
Yeah, you
With
would've known what was
going
hot
on.
sauce, fry my
Now
chips
you-
on.
Now
Now y'all
Fry my
both
chips
sex
on.
offenders.
Now y'all both sex offenders.
Fry 'em on, cut them up.
Right, you know what I mean?
Extra crispy.
Ain't had nothing to do with it.
Moving on.
Slower than a
So-
one-arm big fella.
All week, Miss Gail has been trending
Oh, God,
in the
this
news. She's like,
lady.
oh
I
God,
can't.
Miss
Another
Gail
two,
has
I'm
been
sorry.
trending. You know, being in the spotlight is a double-edged sword. Like, it's crazy. People can be your fans and love you one minute. When she did that R. Kelly, they were
Yeah.
loving her. Now she asks the wrong questions about Kobe.
Listen,
and they are threatening
since
to
she
kill
did
her.
it with Michael, since she did it with
I
Kobe,
agree.
when she did it with R. Kelly, she did it with Cosby. I still have. I'm still just like. It's the truth though. Where is the wine? Where is he? Where,
Right.
Where, you
Just
guys are like
her and Oprah.
this.
Right.
You're telling me you didn't peep when you were eating the chicken wings in
Right.
the other room? What was going on? Stop it. Stop.
Where are they?
Whether we're guilty or
They
not,
do not do it.
do it to both.
They tear down our black men.
Do it to both.
And I commend Leslie for the way she held it down.
Yes, I do.
But she's not the only one who's been doing that since Kobe died. There was a news reporter that was suspended for making, some
she
for
made the
bringing up the
comments
rape
about-
story. There was a teacher, I think she was a principal or something, who just
Yes.
resigned.
Yes.
Because of her comments on Facebook saying karma caught up with a rapist today. Like,
Right.
people really come hard for stuff like that. I mean, and so Gail's not the only one, but I think because she's black.
But they do it all the time. It's not the first time. Like they did it with Michael Jackson.
Right.
Like all this time this man was alive being accused, no one had anyone
one
to
said
say.
that.
There was no
Yep.
reports. There was no comments. As soon as the man is dead, it's this is that and this that.
Yep.
I was there and I saw this and this.
I think that
Okay.
was the best response Leslie gave her. Like, you had all this time to ask him
Right.
when he was alive. You
Why
could have had
didn't
this
you ask
interview.
him? Why are you asking me?
Right.
I wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
What was my comments? What is
How
that gonna
dare her tell her, well, you're his friend. Maybe you could have been too close and not have noticed those signs. What?
What about you and your boy?
Right.
Who now is walking like this with
Right.
the best acting
That was your
performance
best
of
buddy.
his
You
life.
didn't know what he
Talking
was
about
doing?
I'm shaking now. Stop. That nigga, he should win the award. He really needs to win an award. That's
Harvey.
the best shaking with a walker into court I have seen in a long time.
He's been around
Oh my
actors.
God, he is good.
I think that's our number one flaw. We don't support each other.
That's the
We are
problem.
always quick to tear each other down.
That's the
We
problem.
support the white man, but we don't support our own black
Thank
people.
you. Thank you.
They jump all over these stories, and she was totally wrong. I mean, I think the death threats is going too far. Snoop Dogg calling her a dog face, something like
Yeah,
that.
crazy.
People have been going in on this woman.
Crazy.
I mean,
Even I saw Bill Bellamy last night. He would make
because these are his friends. These are his close
Right.
friends. These are not just fans of sitting at home and like, oh my God, I'm wearing my 24. These are people that were close with him,
Right.
that broke bread with him. His kids hung out. They went to
Right.
parties. They knew him personally.
And it is personal. And then she's blaming it on the network instead of taking responsibility for it.
asking the question.
So what do you guys think? You think she's still gonna have that same level of career, or do you think people are not gonna support her now?
I think it's gonna blow over.
No, I think white people are definitely going to support it. They love that, you know.
She might have gained some more of them,
gained
right?
some more of the Rush Limbaugh, you know.
I personally
people.
didn't have a problem with what she asked. I think you should just ask everybody same questions across the board.
Thank you.
Don't just do it on the black, Hispanic.
That's what
individuals.
I'm saying.
Ask everybody the same
Thank
thing
you.
across the board.
And then there's not an issue.
That's the problem.
But when you're doing it to only one certain race all the time,
That's
it becomes
not
a
fair.
pattern, and
Right.
it's not fair. And now
Gotcha.
you deserve all the lashback you're getting.
That is very true.
Look, I see
Balance
you
it out.
treat everybody
Balance it
fair.
out.
You treat everybody fair, but you don't treat them the same.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just be fair across the board.
Right.
And they haven't practiced that.
Right.
What was it? Kirk Douglas? He just recently passed away. Did she bring up the rape
Nope.
about Natalie Wood? No.
They don't do it. It just goes
Okay.
unheard of. It's sad.
You know?
It really is. But lastly, guys, so I got my little I ain't hating, but I'm just saying segment. No, I'm not hating. I'm really not.
Okay.
But I want to know.
You setting it out early.
She's
I ain't
pre-hating.
Setting the seed.
Pre-hating.
I ain't hating. I'm just saying. So you had recently in the news a young boy who refused to cut off his dreads, and this has gained national attention.
Good.
So this boy who refused to cut off his dreads has gotten two $20,000 scholarships from Ellen DeGeneres and one from Alicia Keys.
Yep.
He's been on the Oscars. Like, oh,
his parents,
because you
yeah.
didn't cut off your hair.
That's right.
I'm sorry. Who I have to call? Like Tyler Perry, same thing.
I'm
like,
coming.
Tyler Perry rescued this family that was stuck in another country at the hospital, paid their bill and all because it gained national news. So it's like
Tyler Perry, if you're listening, I need
nowadays
some help with my rent.
you don't have to work 10 years grinding in your talent. Or you could just do something that goes viral, and you're famous. Like I ain't hating, but
We live in the
Can
reality
can I
TV.
get that? Like the woman who just recently fell from the ceiling, the stripper.
Oh my
This was a
goodness. Did you
nobody
see that?
stripper.
Did you see that?
Yes,
I saw she cracked her neck.
They said she fell from the sky.
I saw it.
Yes.
Yes.
She got all jacked
But she kept up going. She kept
working.
twerking.
She's already
I think
raised.
she's about to get a sticky glove brand stuff.
She's about to be a celebrity now because
Yes.
she broke her face.
Yes.
She's raised $30,000.
You see? Look at that.
Her GoFundMe for her
See?
bills.
That's
She's
crazy.
talked about all over the world. This woman
There
is
you go.
now going to be famous because she
That's
bust
what we
her
gotta do.
ass.
Go to the club,
That's my point.
climb the pole somehow.
I ain't hating, but I've been doing
But you
this for
gotta
how
do
many years? Like, can I please?
You gotta go
Can
live.
we?
Pull a
For
juicy
real.
smoothie.
For real.
You gotta
Pull a juicy
Right.
smoothie or
I'm
something.
sorry, I ain't hating, but my
Kidnapped
son
on air.
is a struggling college student right now.
Can we get some help, Tyler Perry?
Trying to pay off his tuition so he can be back in school next semester. Who's sending us $20,000?
Nobody.
I ain't hating. I'm just
This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna set up a kidnapping, right?
Yes.
Live on
Juicy
studio.
smoothie.
Yes.
I'm gonna run to the precinct. I don't know what
I'm
happened.
about
My
to
friend
make
got
up a
human
story.
trafficked.
My kid is being bullied in school. Ain't nobody giving me $20,000.
Nothing. We get some boxing gloves
I'm not hating. I'm just
and a pack
saying.
of Kool-Aid. That's all.
I was like, not upset. I'm happy for these people, but I'm like, yo.
So where's mine?
Where's mine?
Where's my
Look at the world we
reparations?
living in.
All my
I've
life,
been
I
grinding
had
hard for
to
8-9 years, and then you got some Megan the Pony coins my whole name, and
Yeah.
people think that I'm the copycat. I'm sorry, I had it first. She stole it from me.
You got to kidnap.
I ain't hating. I'm
That's it.
just
We gotta
saying.
kidnap on the next show.
That's it.
Bring her in as
I
a
want
guest.
on this show. I want you to explain.
Bring her in as a
that
guest.
you copied the
She came in
stallion.
here.
Because for 8 years nobody had that name, and then this heifer popped up. Talking about some Megan. Girl, I don't even say it. I can't even say it.
Right.
You thief. Give me my credit at
The
least.
world we live
and
in.
we're good. Credit me, Megan, and I'm all good. Don't be
ain't-
taking my name
you
and not
ain't-
representing it right.
You know?
Which, man, don't get me started on that girl. Well, we are at the end of our segment, guys. We've had a great time talking
Yes.
it out
Yes.
here tonight with Mr. Smith and
Thank you
Stephanie.
for having us.
Yes,
Thank you guys for coming through. You really have educated a lot of the listeners, and myself included. And you know, you giving me something to think about. So I really appreciate it. I'm gonna definitely support your film.
We'll be looking for the comment and the stars. We'll
I
be looking.
sure
we'll be
will.
looking.
I am going to give y'all my 5 stars. I don't care if I'm staring at a tree the whole 40 minutes. I'm like, it was the best movie
Tree
ever.
ever. It was a special
Did
needs
you see
tree.
how the leaf went up and down?
You
Wood,
saw
knock
those
on wood.
credits? That was my favorite part.
That was my favorite. Like, yo, I'm gonna give it the best. No, seriously, I'm gonna
Yeah, we
support.
love your
Thank
feedback.
you.
Sounds awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hopefully, you
Thank
will,
you.
make some more movies to this, some additions to it.
Well, I got some stuff in the works. There's some topics that are taboo that we don't talk about. One of them is murder-suicide.
Wow.
You know, so it happens a lot in our culture. You know, whether it's the man coming back and kill a woman,
Right.
woman come back and kill a man. But then sometimes we have innocent children involved in these murder-suicides.
Absolutely.
And also writing one about the traumas of a woman being raped.
Yes.
She's married and she can't have sex
That's
with her
right.
husband due to the trauma.
And it's
You know,
real.
she can't even touch the man that she's married to after the event.
It's
Wow.
real.
As well as within the same story, a couple that's domestic violence.
Okay.
But this couple has to be an LGBT couple. It's
Okay.
woman on woman.
Dope.
You know, we generally hear about the man beating on the woman.
Women. We don't
Very
know.
rarely hear about the
Women
woman
on
beating on the man, but we don't
Facts.
hear it all about women beating on
What
women.
about the man
I
beating on the
love
man?
how you
know,
are
so-
well-rounded
We try to
and try to
tackle
touch
some things that we don't
You
talk
have to
about
put
as
Sky
well.
in some of these films. You know that, right? You have to put a sister in some of these
I
films,
got you,
right?
I
You,
got
you already know that, right?
got
Shameless plug. Like you gonna have to.
You're a bully. I'm scared. You're a bully. You gonna do what I say.
I am not a bully.
I know you don't like pizzas, but you like pizza cobbler.
I sure do.
But yeah, we gotta, you know, it's
that's
about
dope.
growing. It's about growing,
That's
you know, and helping
awesome.
each other. We can do that because, you know, it might spark you with you're writing.
Right.
You know, sometimes we just got to be around like-minded individuals to give us that little push, that nudge. And then there's
I'm
things
telling
that's
you,
going
I'm
on, you know
dope.
about that can get
I'm a writer and an actress first. That's what I grew up doing my whole life, so I love it. Definitely, we gotta hook up with that. So let's give everybody, you guys, social media, how to find you, follow you, stalk you. No, give them all your
You
info.
can find me in the 5th aisle of Key Food. Shoplifting.
You can find me at
Look at the
Dollar
ice
Tree.
cream. No.
You can find me at Dollar Tree, right on the candy aisle and the
it.
candle aisle.
Anyhow.
Well, this is Jermaine Smith. On LinkedIn, I'm under Jermaine Smith. On Facebook, I'm under Jermaine Smith. On Instagram is Everyday the Brand, Everyday THE Brand, as well as Traffic Lane the Comedy, and the Needs.film.
Yes.
On Instagram, if you want to follow the film and check us out, that's where you can catch me at.
Definitely, guys.
Yes,
Miss
okay.
Kat.
I am on Facebook as Stephanie Cologne, and I am on Instagram as Stephanie_ACD_actress.
Nice. Well, thank you guys once again for being here. It has been a pleasure.
Yes,
You're welcome
yes.
back
Having
to
us.
TIO anytime. I will
Yay.
definitely support your projects and your work. It is very positive, and that is what Talk It Out is for. Home of rising talent, real topics with real people, guys. We are here every Tuesday night right on iAccess radio station. I'm Grace the Stallion. You can find us on all social media, talkitoutradio.com, Talk It Out Radio on Instagram, Twitter, etc. So we'll see you next week, same time. Good night. I wanna let you know you can call Grace at the Talk It Out show. Talk it out. What's on your mind? Talk it out. Do you have some time? Talk it out. I wanna let you know you can call Grace at the Talk It Out show. Talk it out.
You need the latest news and the latest fashion. Tune in to Talk It Out and watch that stallion. The whole city know that we on the horizon. The talk of the city, New York. Talk with me if you need the vent. Or if your rent spent, things don't make no sense. And life getting too tense, put your troubles on hold. If you sip or you roll, whatever I suppose. Turn on the radio. You with the queen whose voice is gold. She thick in the waist, don't let him in the waist. This show's a fine taste with design by Grace. And we won't stop until we heard in 50 states. Talk it out, talk it out, talk it out, talk it out.
What's on your mind? Talk it out. Do you have some time? Talk it out. I wanna let you know you can call Grace at the Talk It Out show. Talk it out. What's on your mind? Talk it out. Do you have some time? Talk it out. I wanna let you know you can call Grace at the Talk It Out show. Talk it out.